Why, hello there. Are we doing well this fine post-Christmas day? Whatever it is. Hey, chat. Interesting stream title. Hey, Vens, good to see ya. Lautrec cells will be seething. Lautrec. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Lautrec cells? Lautrec cells? I don't know. Lautrec cells will be seething at Loki Chads by the end of the stream. You guys are great. I love you. Okay, chat. We are moving on with the lore play. This is like, what, 8 episodes? 9? I don't know, something like that. Oh boy, so last time we had a very thrilling journey breaking into Anor Londo's royal manor. What a shocker. Gwyn has the place heavily protected. You can't just sort of waltz right in. They have every corner covered with demons and silver knights. Quite the experience, quite the hell. But we finally made it in, and we started exploring and talking about the various bits of history that have been happening here before this place came to ruin. Let's move right along. Hopefully we'll get to watch Loki die to Lautrec at least once. He needs more humanity. Can you blame the man? He needed the humanity. Like, you can always have more humanity to offer. Okay, dog, I get it, but I need my other hand, dog. I can't just keep chatting with chat for an hour on end. Okay, well I can, but like, that's not the point of this lore play, please. I get it, you like your love, but lay down, down. I swear, who's the owner sometimes? Anyway. Oh, whoopsie. That was, there we go. I did some farming, chat, to make up for all those souls we lost last stream. Whoop. Whoop. Oh. I don't know how that didn't hit me, to be honest, but whatever. In the end, believe me, it went a lot smoother than how I'm making it appear right now. I ended up getting my parries, get some parry practice in. Let the dog play. The dog just sits here wanting love. He can have my foot instead. I need these hands, okay? I need these hands to be occupied. Alrighty. Unfortunately, I did not fix the controller though. A lot of things happening today and yesterday, as you can imagine. So we're gonna have to manage with this janky-ass controller for the time being. Gonna need to give myself a belated Christmas present though of a new one. Oh. Yeah, you do that. There we go. Oh boy! Is this... I'll be honest, I'll probably die to Lautrec because of the controller more. There we go. The dog wouldn't almost die to a silver knight! The dog would just roll over and accept the silver knight as his owner. The new feeder. It's his turn on the Xbox. Alrighty, so we talked about the little plot seemingly by the actual genuine Havel with his armor and an occult club in a mimic chest. He doesn't want anyone to find that in particular, because it is proof that he has treasonous thoughts willing to kill a god. And considering the location, it's a plot of killing a royal. Which royal then? We also, as we can see here, in this chamber, we see all these wyvern heads, as it looks like. Now, these look identical to the blue wyverns we see in New Londo, though, given the lore that were provided about how the gods would cut the heads of the archdragons off, these are likely supposed to be archdragon heads, not wyvern heads. Now, as you may already know, there isn't really an archdragon model, at least a generic archdragon model like we see of those in the cinematic. Instead, all we get are wyverns, one and a few unique archdragons. Even the stone archdragon of Ash Lake has a very unique horn set and things like that, which sort of makes it incredibly hard. Plus, he's supposed to be a secret, so you want to have his design be special. So it seems like they just took a generic blue wyvern head model and just use that instead. Obviously, we see this expanded on in Dark Souls 3 with more proper Archdragon heads being used for shields in the Ring City. But again, this is a Dark Souls 1 lore play, not 3. We can see, of course, the Silver Knight guarding down there, like everywhere else. Nice bit of world building that Silver Knights won against dragons and demons because they were too big to circle strafe or parry them. You guys are killer today. They needed opposable thumbs to parry, apparently. There we go. There's our Titanite Demon. Again, as I talked about last stream, the notion that we have chairs set up for a wake, and plus pews and all that. The idea is that a Titanite slab would be placed on the altar. You would have the two royals, Princess Guinevere and Gwyn's firstborn. I won't say prince for, well, reasons, but the idea being is that you would have two of the two major royals essentially sitting here in attendance for the god's blacksmith's funeral. The idea then being that after this happened, of course, the Titanite slabs started turning into demons. Those outside were being killed. Then the gods abandoned Anor Londo, and so when this one transformed, it's basically been ignored by all the knights and everyone because, hey, it's just trapped in that room, and no one's using the manor anymore, so might as well. As we can see here, though, there is a mimic. Oh, why is there a mimic here? What does it hide? Oh. What? Okay. That was weird, chat. Oh. God, your hitbox is weird. Oh! I thought I dodge rolled, but okay. Alright, that was just bad positioning on my part. Seath revealed the secrets of circle stafing. Seath forgot how it was spelled for some reason. It's fine. Might as well just make it sheath. Well, that was an embarrassing death. Alright. There we go. There we go. There we are. Gotta remember, it's only 5. Seed shared the secrets of circle strafing. As we talked about in a previous stream, of course, there were no secret sharings by Seath. Seath simply saw the writing on the wall at the end of the war, realized, hey, my side's gonna lose. And you know what? I don't really like my side anyway, so I will just betray them. And we'll talk more about the boon of that timely betrayal when we get, of course, the Duke's archives. Until then, let us do this. Oh, wow, I can't even hit. Okay, fine. Nice. There we go. There we are, perfect. Got that bleed in. So it seemed to bleed easier when I used the double R2, so that's cool. We want to go this way. Oh, whoopsie. There we are. I don't know how that's a backstab, but whatever. I'll take it. Oh. Right, he turns. The dog wouldn't die to a mimic. This death reminds me that you should buy my book, Abyssal Archives. Sneed, as much as I would love to grift right now, now is not the time. We just started the stream. Though if you're interested, you can buy my book, Abyssal Archive. Just check the description. It happens to be a 2-volume compilation of the entirety of the original Dark Souls 1's lore. You don't have to deal with the nasty gameplay of me dying all the time, waiting for me to actually talk about any good tidbits of lore. You can just read it for yourself. Again, 2 volumes. It's complete, it's comprehensive, and it's consistent. Probably the best in all those 3 categories for any type of book that's ever been published in Dark Souls. I can say that with confidence. So buy now. Yeah, oh. There we go. I don't know why, but I became so bad all of a sudden. I just can't do anything. There we go. It's a bit ridiculous to think that Gwyn, the power over sunlight and lightning by extension, needed Seath to tell him to use it against dragons. Like, that wouldn't be the first thing he would try. Yeah, again, we see in the dragon hunts, God, it's like, gosh, should I use this power of lightning that I have, that I uniquely acquired and honed for all this time to build up my civilization? Should I use that to hunt the dragons? Will that possibly pierce their scales, especially when we have been working on, you know, piercing things with spears at our training grounds? Yeah. The entire notion is just because of the confidant wording by the localization, and it really doesn't make sense even then. It's one of those just weird things that the community comes up with and just sort of seeps into the collective consciousness for no good reason. Oh. Oh! There we go. That bleeding. It is what it is, though. Oh! And there we go. Alright, so we killed both mimics, and what do we find? We find coins. Now, oh. We find silver coins here. Belonging to, Night King Rendel. Well, we should say not belonging to, but featuring legendary Night King Rendel. Now, this, of course, is interesting, because as we see, Anor Londo's been sealed up and all that, and yet there are coins from the human world that have found their way inside. Moreover, these are coins that feature a king who lived, as we'd established, during the 200 to 100 year period before now, because obviously 100 years ago is when all these famous legends, now undead after, you know, growing old or dying in battle or what have you, they all start coming in through Sen's fortress and all that. So again, this dates the appearance of these coins to only about that 200 years old at most, if you're being generous. Okay, well that's interesting by itself, but then there's the fact that they're in a mimic. Okay, why are you trying to secure these coins in a mimic? Why don't you want anyone to see this in particular? It's almost as if you are hiding the fact that you are interested in the human world, especially its currency, because again, as we will see with the giant blacksmith, souls were used as the currency even before the undead and the undead burg, even in Anor Londo, because naturally, when Gwyn comes here and says, hey, here's a powerful soul that I got, I'll share this with you guys, if you obey me as the king, then naturally there's going to be a soul economy that develops from that, and soul will become the chief idea of value. So basically, the point I'm trying to make is that the gods don't need human coin. They need souls if they want to make trades, and yet someone is preparing as if they are ready to enter into the world of man and join the human economy of coin. Most curious indeed. Is there someone who leaves for the world of man who would want to have possibly bring coins for the journey? And wouldn't want anyone else to find out that she, just throwing that out there, could be a he, had left? Anyway, we will expand on that more when we, as we go forward. Until then. Let's head down. I don't know how that hurt me, but there we go. There we are. And you're... There we go. I think that's everything. We just gotta keep on going upstairs and deal with that. Anything else worth talking about? Saving the priest stuff for when we get to Guinevere and talk about some of that there. Silver coins, yep. Well now. Oh. Yeah, we don't need to go here. Yeah, we just need to go upstairs. Silver Knights bleed white fog. I know you don't like the theory of them being illusions, so it's a medial thing then. They also disappear with a similar effect. A lot of enemies we see disappear, though, like, say, examples like Black Knights and stuff like that. So, again, the idea that they're illusions, I simply don't buy. There's also just the fact that, again, they are ones who did remain. That is, of course, a point made, about them specifically. I'd sooner believe them golems, honestly. Though, again, as we talked about, even golems can bleed. So I think, again, I think it's more so a matter of these are holy knights of a holy country who have lots of holy power. Oh. Though I can't recall if we ever addressed that in Abyssal Archive. That might be something worth adding in a subsequent edition. But I have to double check. Oh, dang. Well, fine. I'll go the long way. Because we do see medials like, say, Ornstein and Smo, and if I recall correctly, they have normal. Well, sorry, we see other characters like Ornstein and Smo, and they don't got that. Though, admittedly, both Ornstein and Smo have unique circumstances for why they may not be bleeding the same way as other knights. So, yeah, we don't care about that. Oh my. This game, considering my my dodge rolls as backsteps, is going to be the death of me. I just know it. Let us go this way, and then we'll go this way. Come on. There we go. There we go, so they die. Whoop. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. Oh. Come on. Over here. Oh, right, that pierces. Oh. There we go. Oh. Now I can't parry. Any moment now, buddy. Oh. There we go. Oh, whoopsie. There we are. But why is the way to the cathedral blocked? You already have the big test ringing the bells. You have to going through the rafters and buttresses. Apparently, apparently Gwyndolin wants things to be extra safe on your journey. Wants you to find your way in. Lowers the way down, so you have to somehow make your way around some other time. Like, clearly they don't want to make it easier for us even after we've rung the bells. The next test, of course, is Ornstein and Smo, as you will see going forward. And, clearly, you have to be pretty strong to handle them. Alright, we're down here at last. Now this is where our Titanite Demon is. This will take us down... Oh. This will take us down to the Silver Knight there. As we can see with all the different dragon heads, again, likely... Oh. These dragon heads were very likely used as trophies taken from the dragon hunts. They killed the archdragons and then... Oh, okay. There we go. I'm so bad! Oh. There we go. It's always the first one I can't get, okay. Next test is find Lautrec without crying. Poor Lautrec. He doesn't deserve this, clearly. Look at all that. Even some green dragon heads. Oh. 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 Nope, I deserve that. That was stupid. I was like, okay, I failed the second one. I should go for the third, even though it takes slower. Nope, can't do that mindlessly. Ay, ay, ay. We shall open the shortcut, chat. I shall endeavor. Oh, oh my. There we go. I hate doing this backwards, but whatever it takes to get this controller to actually realize it can work. POV, you're a dragon? You gonna do it? Now's the time while my controller is dumb. Right into the crotch. This is why you should never be big, chat. You'll get parried into the crotch. Oh, nothing? Oh. Oh, okay, sure, game. Again, the detection on this left analog stick is leaving much to be desired. Okay, that one's still... You're blocking with a great bow. Okay. What? It didn't backstep. The one time I wanted it to backstep, I was like, okay, just get me a little bit farther. Nope. Death counter's at 6 now, if I recall correctly. Oh, we're keeping track now, thens? Ay, ay, ay. Whatever. Whatever, just because I have to just account for my controller being stupid. Got some more souls to farm. There we go. There we go. Thankfully, my level up got me to that 6 hits I want, so I can hit 5 times, then dodge roll, or just hit 6 times if I want to keep the flurry going. Oh. Listen, mate, angling this controller so it... Oh. Oh. Why are you doing that? I'm... Oh. Oh. There we go. So it's like one of those boss fights where they screw up your controller stuff, so that way, like, it always does something other than what you're intending, and you have to kind of figure out what the new setup is. It feels like that. I feel like I'm playing one of those games. Gwyndolin wants you to go through his unsurveyed hot sister's bedroom. You said it best there, Sneed. I don't know what I could add to that. It's just accurate. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, wait a second. There we go. There we are. Okay, let's get out of this. Oh! Oh, I see. Good thing that guy is blind, apparently. Oh. Okay, never mind. I was... Alright. Yeah, I can't risk it. I can't risk it with this controller. It's gonna do weird shit. There we go. Right, and this shield thing can block my stuns, so... There we go. Now, of course, what we find in these chests, stored separately, because again, only so much armor you can put in one chest, is Silver Knight equipment. So you get the idea, of course, unlike mimics who are bottomless, this stuff can fit only a limited amount of space. But hey, we now open the doorway, so we can now go through here. The chest's knight has very small aggro radius, very small, as we can see. Thankfully. Oh my goodness. As we can see, there's this boy here. I'll be honest, I don't know if you're even worth it. Yeah, you're not worth it. You're a little too beefy right now. Maybe later. In the meantime, we shall continue onward. We now leave the royal abode and head into the church. Now, this cathedral, of course, as I said last stream, is connected to the royal manor because, again, when you're gods and you're the royal family, church and state's gonna be quite intertwined. We don't want to go up here because that's just gonna take us outside. We want to go down here. As we can see, here are the giant, more giant sentinels. These are referred to, unlike the guards we find outside the cathedral, as giant royal guards. These are, of course, the people who are protecting the royalty personally, which again gives an idea of who is up ahead. We are trying to receive a revelation from Guinevere, the princess. But these guys are not important to us. What's important is... Oh my god, game, stop! Controller, please. What's important is opening this door. Again, these guys are pretty much dressed the same, except they have fancy blue, blue cloaks to signify their higher status, protecting royalty and all. They apparently were on good terms with the Firstborn. Oh! That guy was about to use Wrath of the Gods. Again. Woo! Again, these guys know miracles of the gods. Very powerful ones. Oh. Because of their higher status among other giants. So unlike the slaves or even the lesser guards, these guys who protect royalty get all the perks. They learn all the holy magic. Their faith has been proven. There we go. The cloak is pretty fancy. Alright. Oh. Okay. I mean, if you're gonna be like that. Oh. Yeah, let's go this way. Oh. No, we're not dying here. I refuse. There we go. A church being the house of God is literal. Yeah, that's true in this case. There we go. Woo. As we head here, we again, as I talked about in previous streams, the idea of smithing being so essential to the development of medieval civilization. Obviously, with smithing is how you get all the metal working, both for war and for peacetime. Naturally, this means that the church is adjoined not just to the royal abode, but also to the royal smithy. We can imagine this is the place where the blacksmith god once worked, But with the blacksmith god dead, there is only apprentices who could take over, such as this giant here. Now, before we deal with him... Perfect. Let's open the gate. There we go. Again, notice how the gate is designed for two sizes, both someone closer to humans and something closer to giants. You can imagine, essentially, Anor Londo was built with humans, human servants, and giant slaves in mind. I'm not open. Thankfully, this giant guard doesn't know how to open the door. He too stupid. Oh. That's done. There we go. Titanite chunk, nothing special there. And now we can talk to our good friend, the giant blacksmith. Oh my. This controller.
Who are you? Forge your weapons.
Now, as we can see, his speech is not the best, as he will explain.
Tis no good, but forge very good. I have any time.
So he's no good at talking, but he is good at forging. So therefore, he can help us with the forging. And then as he explains here.
Tis no good. No one home, everyone home.
As he explains that, again, this is again supposed to be broken English or Japanese. But the idea that he's conveying is he's no good at speech because everyone left. There's no one around for him to talk to. Therefore, all he really knows is how to forge, which he's apparently done since he was very young, evidently. So we have this idea of a very young giant, and you can imagine even a young giant would be, in terms of size and strength, more than able to deal with smithing tools. And as we can see here, he's able to work the forge quite well. So he must have been incredibly talented to be brought in as an apprentice so young, likely trained by the blacksmith deity. All of this is to say that we can use him to help give us a sense of the timeline, because obviously, for there to be no one around despite all the guards and silver knights, who he also makes weapons and armor for. Again, as we can see, he knows how to make this stuff. So he makes their shield or their halberds and things like that. He also makes stuff for Gwyndolin with the moonlight arrows. Again, the Dragon Slayer stuff and all that. So clearly, he's someone who at least learned how to make all this stuff. But again, this is the type of thing he can make automatically. He just has to constantly supply or repair whatever's handed to him. He doesn't have to speak to people very much. So we're probably the first person who can be here and want to have interest in talking to him at all. Very interesting, right? Because now we have an idea of like, okay, so the gods had to have left while he was still very young in a giant's life cycle. So young that he didn't get past like, didn't get past the infancy stage, or the, sort of the toddler stage in terms of speech. So... So again, as he's saying, we're a friend who actually bothers to talk to him, despite the fact that he's no good at talking. So therefore, he's very happy to have us around. So very sweet, right? We're alleviating his loneliness because we're probably the first person to actually reach out and talk to him like this. Again, we can see how he requires souls and things like that, because again, Anor Londo clearly worked off a soul economy. Much like how undead do now in Lordran. So, very cool little world-building detail. Again, we have the idea of making it from very old brass and things like that. So again, copper-derived metals are being used to help make it. The gods seem to consider this almost a type of ceremonial holy metal type of thing, which again, makes sense because when they first develop into a Bronze Age, they're infusing the power of lightning into this stuff, and it sort of stays traditional as being kind of the thing associated with the gods. Dark Souls 3, of course, expands on this. We, of course, also may recall that the axe, the long axe that Nico uses, is, again, something that was supplied to the Way of White. It was used, well, I should say it comes from the Way of White, but the idea is that it's a very old, aged axe, right? So it was something that came from a long time ago. Again, giving us the idea that it probably originated from Anor Londo, where these other copper, holy types of equipment come from. So we have, essentially, the Way of White was established in the world of man during the time of Undeath. The Anor Londo supplying it with these axes and things to give especially high-ranking members or whatever to help use. And again, the point of the crescent axe is that it resembles a crescent moon that is waxing. The idea of adding light to a dark pitch black moon, right? So this new moon is now gaining light in the same way that this world of man, consumed by the night, which is again a reference to undeath, will now have the light of the holy gods being brought to them. So again, all this symbolism is sort of tying together to give us a larger history of the relationship between the church in the world of man, led by the current Allfather, Chief God Lloyd, and Anor Londo, where the gods once resided. As we can see here, we get our first look at Gwyndolin stuff. Now, the term here clarifies that Gwyndolin is Gwyn's lastborn, or his youngest child. So there's a point about how these arrows glow silver, so we always see sorcery and moonlight on a blue gradient. Sometimes you can argue it's more like a teal or aqua green, or what have you, but it should be noted that the way Japanese sort of defines the color blue can also spread into, like, green, quote-unquote. So the idea here is that silver, like, especially like steel blues and things like that, blue, regular blue that we see, aquamarine, all that seems to fall under this sort of moonlight umbrella, which again we will expand upon even more when we get to Seath and start talking about the origins of sorcery. Suffice to say, of course, there's this idea that Gwyndolin does use the power of moonlight, not just sunlight, unlike the others. And he is, of course, referred to as a dark sun, or the son of the shadows, right? The idea being is that he's the background character. He's the one who stands behind the other sons, like we see with the princess, the prince, and of course King Gwyn. Then we get this typical stuff. Lightning bolts. Now this, of course, is very interesting. Special bolts imbued with lightning, crafted by the giant blacksmith of Anor Londo. The giant blacksmith has never seen a crossbow, but remembers the specification of the bolts requested by ancient warriors. So here's the thing. The way that the Japanese is worded, and the English somewhat captures this too, it's not necessarily a request that he personally heard. The idea is that it says that, you know, an ancient or old man, so someone from long time ago, so the idea when humans were actually coming to Anor Londo regularly, someone made a request. Because the idea, as we see, bolts are unique to, crossbows are unique to humans. Human industriousness has created a new type of projectile weapon beyond just the standard bow. And Anor Londo still uses the traditional Dragon Slayer, great bows, and things like that. They don't use, they never developed crossbows. Because again, the medials are a very traditional society. They very much like their sunlight, their fire, and the things that were developed part of their early culture before the dragon hunts. Humankind is more industrious in that regard, and they have developed these more advanced weaponry, and at some point, one of the humans, who, as we established earlier, are coming in and out of Anor Londo, they're becoming servants of the gods, or they're there for trade, or what have you, or just to, say, visit and make pilgrimage, or whatever it be. They're coming in, they're like, oh, hey, you know, why don't you make this? Now, obviously, if you're trying to make bolts and stuff for that, you're probably going to see the owner of the bolt with the crossbow, or what have you. But the giant blacksmith doesn't know this, which tells us, again, this is probably not someone that's from that period early in history, when before undeath arose and the gods started locking everything down, and no human's been able to confirm sighting of Anor Londo for so long. So we get the idea that the blacksmith may have inherited the knowledge of how to make the bolts of the request, but he may not have personally, he was probably not around to personally see that, have that request made to him. It was probably, say, the blacksmith god who received that request originally. Much like how we see the giant blacksmith continues to make these various other tools and weapons of things that he likely inherited as part of learning under the original blacksmith god. So, again, interesting idea of the timeline, because again, this combined with what we have with the talking idea, combined with what we see with the coins and everything, gives us the idea that the gods leaving Anor Londo wasn't necessarily 1,000 years ago, when the events of Gwyn linking the fire, the events of the events of Izalith and the hunt with the confrontation with the Chaos Demons and all that was occurring, it seems to have occurred much more recently in the 200 to 100 year period. Ooh, now that has its own interesting little tidbits that we will expand upon as we get into the DLC and back into the Tomb of Giants and stuff like that. But suffice to say, our little friend here is a huge time capsule in his own right to help us understand the timeline. There we go. Reinforcing armor, reinforcing weapons. Still nothing I want to reinforce here. Yeah, we're good. Gotcha. Now let's see. Oh. Oh, I messed that up. Well, at least the door's open. Oh, of course. Thank goodness I didn't get hit by that, because my controller definitely didn't help any. We're going to now, do the walk all the way back here, because I want some more Estus. And then we're going to prepare for the Lautrec fight, with this, this controller hopefully not making me want to kill myself. Oh. This is 10K, right? So not quite there yet, but maybe after Lautrec. Now again, we see both Ornstein and Smo statues on opposite ends here when we first brought onto the ramparts of Anor Londo for this. These were very likely established, therefore, later on for the purposes of the mission. Especially considering that we know that Smo was, of course, once an executioner, though again, we'll expand on that more when we get to that boss fight.
You've survived. Impressive.
Define survived. Define survived. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this and expand it so we have even more Estus. Kindle. There we go. Alright, we did not waste our humanity. Got ourselves an extra 5. Again, this controller is going to make me go insane. Just gotta do everything backwards, chat. Oh! Except for that! And that's the risk. That's the risk, though. It's fine. I didn't want to be in human form anyway. This marble is sounding fairly metallic, I must say. on, boy. We had someone at the door. Dog was going crazy. That's been solved. Sorry about that. Ooh. Almost. Boy, I hope Venz is wrong and I kill Lautrec first time. Though, knowing me, that ain't happening. Well. Especially if this is the handicap I got. Woo! Sorry, guards! Now, let's get the wriggling over with. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, we're told about the wriggling here, so let's use that. Now again, we go after the sinner. Per the black eye orb we received from the corpse of the firekeeper, which again seems to be a product of her soul, as we will, her dark soul at least, or the many dark souls she probably has in her firekeeper soul, was produced and left behind with her for us to collect. As we can see here, Lautrec isn't alone. He has two buddies supporting him as his little summons. One of them is the third sealer, who we have been missing up until now. As we can see from him and his use of sorcery and the like, there's this clear indication that he left, much like Yulva. In this case, seemingly coming all the way up here to the country of the gods. Now, the reason why we can expand on further when we go to, like, say, the Duke's Archives or the Painting World or things like that. But we can imagine that a servant who was a priest, essentially, of New Londo, a sorcerer priest, as it were, might be interested in coming to the country of the gods for various reasons, to advance his sorcery, again, related to Seath, or perhaps just to meet with his gods. Whatever the case, that explains him. Now, the other one is more curious, because this is a character who's dressed in the basic leather armor, so not like a full metal armor supplied soldier, like we see with, say, the Undead Burg regular army. Rather, it's more so leather armor and things like that, something you would use that's less expensive and perhaps easier for you to put together and procure. But he uses a basic spear, again, nothing really to say about that, and the wooden shield. Now recall, we acquired this wooden shield from a corpse in the Undead Burg. This shield bears a image of a white dragon, indicating some reverence or allegiance to Seath. We had used this to infer, along with the evangelist we find who has taken over the Undead Burg church, that Seath seems to have gained a following in the Undead Burg, and is perhaps responsible for the conflict which has caused everyone to hollow, right? We see the arrows and the defenses that are set up, this clear concern from the Burg about an outside force, that they would even station soldiers out by the aqueduct to try to make sure nobody, might sneak their way in through there. But at the same time, as we can tell, there's obviously both in terms of where Lordran is. Oopsie. Whoopsie. Sorry, mate. Might have to die. But we have this clear idea that Lautrec's little hanger-on here may be one of those proposed soldiers, rebels, I should say, even, that may have started the Burg Civil War. And all in the name of Seath. Whoop. If that is the case, then his presence here makes obvious sense, because he's probably looking for the god that he converted to, Seath, in the archives, and has come all the way up here. Especially considering the current state of the Undead Burg, probably not interested in fighting to take it over at this point. A little bit too many hollows. Oh. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die. Oh. Yeah. Yep. Aye, Shemai, and Merry Second Soulsmas to you. Hey, I man, Merry Second Soulsmas. Alright, we're gonna have to run all the way back and do this again. This time I won't do something stupid. But as we can see, Lautrec is not happy. He's surprised to see us, that we would chase all the way down here and get him. He obviously thinks that we're stupid. And basically him and his buddies are ready to gang up on us. Now, the Lautrec's presence here can be explained, of course, by his obsession with the goddess Fina. As we can see from his armor, that will become obvious when we collect it later down the line. Lautrec has had a past association with the goddess. She is someone who is known for her fateful beauty and has charmed many a man, not clearly, with that beauty. Lautrec being one of them. It should be noticed that he's known as Lautrec the Embraced, but that name of the Embraced means more than just to say hold or to harbor someone. It can also have this indication of having connotation of, say, having sex. You know, that sort of embrace. As a result, we get the idea that, again, he and Fina had a very memorable relationship with which Lautrec certainly cannot forget. So while Fina seems to be gone, again, she probably has many suitors and moved on from Lautrec, he has not moved on from her. Rather, from the equipment and the ring that he wears, he is all about trying to find her and hopefully seemingly reunite with her. As his armor will tell us, he will forsake all else in pursuit of the goddess. In that case, coming to the country of the gods makes sense in that he's probably desperate enough to believe that if he comes to this nation, he may be able to find the god who once lived here. Perhaps she will return home, as it were. Again, clearly from how he behaves and everything, he is someone who's forsaken all morals, no more ethics, guiding his principles as a knight. He is now fully and totally devoted to Fina, and is willing to do anything on the desperate appeal that he might see her again. Actually, can I? Yeah, I can, so we'll do this. Who is Fina? Fina is one of the gods, that's all. Like, she's Fina. Fina is Fina. Why are you asking, I man? What? Is the question, is Fina anyone that we might know or something? If that's the case, then no. She's another god like Flan, like Old Man Mikloif, like tons of other gods that we learn the names of but don't get to see in person. Now again... Yep. Now again, Lautrec is one of the examples... Whoop. Lautrec is one of those examples of cases where we see how summoning allows you to basically go after someone as much as you want. Oh. Oh, darn. This controller, it really, really, really sucks. But, the idea being is that even if you die as a spirit, you are not actually being killed. You're essentially going to be perfectly A-okay. Well, obviously, that's the benefit of being summoned, besides the fact that you can attack someone from, like, some distance away without having to, like, find them in person, as it were. Obviously, across time and space, even. So, the important thing here is that when we kill an invader, for example, we're not necessarily actually killing that invader, we're just killing a spirit, and the actual invader should be fine. This means that when we actually do kill these spirits and we find corpses with them, this gives us the idea that the corpses are supposed to be literally these people. It's probably supposed to just be, again, a quest reward or something of that nature. We see this in multiple other cases, again, with... with Dusk and things like that, even without killing Dusk or doing anything, just saving her, we will have a corpse which will spawn where she was once captured, and similar thing we see here with the various invaders that we will defeat. Ugh, I hate this controller. And not having Estes, ugh. Might have to do this another day, just because I need to fix this controller first. Is she Rosaria? No, I man. Fina is not Rosaria. Watch my Dark Souls 3 lore play if we want to talk about Rosaria. I will not be just going into details about Dark Souls 3 here. I've done more than enough occasional references to that game. As is. Fina is her own character. No relation. Oh. Ay. Alright. Let's do this again. The only thing I wish is if we were killed, it will take us back to this area where we spawned instead of all the way back at the bonfire. That's the one thing where it's like, really? Again, a stake of Gwyn would really solve this problem. Again, we have the sinner, the guilty, Lautrec. And we go again. Oh, he's smart. That's one. So that's the most annoying one down. Him we'll just have to shave down as we continue onward. It's his buddy here that's a pain, because he's just gonna rush in the moment I try to hammer in on Lautrec. Come on. Get you by yourself. Come on. Of course he's prepared. Whoop. Alrighty. Dang it. I love how it does the forward R1 when I don't intend to do it, but then it doesn't do it when I do intend to do it. Ay, ay, ay. This is such an awkward situation. And my poise boy does not care. He will go in for the assault no matter what. Oh, of course. Oh. Dang it! That hitbox. That lasted a little too long with that turn. If I could just slide slightly more to the right and get the hit off, I think I would have gone the bleed. Lautrec deserves this one. Come on, just let him. No thens. I want my Firelink shrine back. I demand my Firekeeper. I'm getting my Firekeeper. He's already getting 0 Estus on my part. He should be happy. That, along with this controller handicap, means he has the advantage. He should accept me infinitely coming after him through time and space. Alright, first death. We can get a few more. Yeah. That was frustrating. That controller, man. Does the giant sell twinkling? He probably does, honestly. And if so, I should probably go get this item. Yeah, you've got a twinkling. I'll pay 8k souls for that. Mad. Oh. Oh! Oh! Oh. Of course. Perfect opportunity wasted because of range. Oh, of course, and you get me off screen. I hate you. Ay, 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 ay. That damage, though, is coming in clutch. That would have taken 2 more hits, I think, with normal, so... It is useful when I get it off. Oh. Yeah, that was worth it. There we go. Go on. There we go. If I can get him to just frickin'... There we go! Woo! Got that bleed. Pretty sure that was what did it at the end. Nice. Souvenir of reprisal. We have defeated the guilty, of course. We have defeated a sinner and claimed the ear in the name of the gods and received all that we wanted. So, again, we as a spirit can loot from, of course, the living and things like that, no problem. You could also presumably loot from a spirit, as we can see with, like, dropping and trading and things like that with online and cooperation play. But as we can see, Lautrec had tons of humanity, had a Firekeeper soul, and had the Ring of Favor and Protection. Now this ring, you can't take it off without breaking, because again, it demonstrates how, as Dark Souls 3 puts it, how Fina's favor is fickle. Again, it's something where it adds to your HP, your stamina, and your ability to carry things, your burden. Something which might be very useful during doing the deed. But in the end, like it says, she is very quick to leave once she tires of you. But Lautrec could not forget her. But yeah, for the time though, at least he had her favor and thus divine protection. Alrighty, time to return. We did it! Again, that extra damage. John Kick, I want to thank you for the reminder. Getting that upgrade for my weapon, honestly, I think is what made that possible. There would have been so much more opportunity for error had I not gotten that much more damage output into these attacks. The fewer attacks that I was needed to just land, the better. I will forever appreciate that recommendation. Oh boy. So now we will go back to Firelink, and then we will return here to the painting world. Well, that will be next on the agenda. Come on. How come it didn't break off of Lautrec? Presumably because he's dead. That is how we must presume, I suppose. That, or he never actually put it on his finger, but I don't think that's the case. I think he technically wears it according to his stats and stuff. So. Again, you can also argue, you can also always argue, like, oh, it's because it's a video game, but if we're endeavoring to have an explanation, I would guess it's because he is dead. And that the problem is, you tiring of Fina, when she's tired of you, is what causes it, essentially, in meaning. Oh! Well, there ain't no blood flow, though. Maybe it's fine. Alrighty. Now that Lautrec's done for, let's get this Firekeeper soul back over. Now, again, this Firekeeper soul is a little unique. Oh, actually, is it here? Yeah. As we can see, the idea of the Ash Maiden, again, this is the Ash Saintess or Saint Holy Woman. locked in this dark prison or by her own will. Again, giving us the idea that, implying that, Anastasia, as we'll learn her name is, actually, from cutting off her own legs to having her tongue removed, all this was of her own volition. She wanted these things to happen because she hates her undeath more than anyone. She hates the fact that she is an unholy monster. Now, as we can see, the Batwing demons who brought us up will also take us back down at our will. Again, they're just following orders. They were told to bring people up who defeat the golem and use the ring, or rather, to use the ring after the golem's defeated. The magic ring. So we can use that in order to summon them back. Where's the way down? There we go. This should be safe, right? Yeah. Come on. Come on. Oh no, this isn't the right way at all. Darn, I gotta go back up now. Oh, this is where the shortcut was, but I'm crazy. Oh boy. There we go. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, okay, so when I go to... Yeah, okay. I know what I need to do next time I want to do that. Oh boy, getting out of here might be harder than you think. Oh, whoop. Oh. There we go. Phew! That was a bit spoopy. Oh, let's kill them for the road. Oh, I should not risk my life like this. Not when I have to come all the way back down. There we are. And we are back. Oh, beautiful, beautiful bonfire. Andre, I've made it to the land of the gods. You have anything to say for me? Anything? Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, he's got...
Well, hello again. You seem to be doing all right.
Oh, he can't say. So basically he tells us how, oh, you know what, there's an ember, yeah. Ah, but I can't work it. It's not really something I know how. I can figure it out. He's not interested. Yep. Alright.
Don't get yourself.
Yeah. Alrighty. We shall... Oh, whoop, this is not the direction. I'm like, wait a second. I don't want to go back into the fortress. Now, one nice thing about killing Lautrec is now we have plenty of humanity to kindle bonfires. We will also use this opportunity to talk to Solaire and try to advance him to Anor Londo. Because clearly I didn't talk to him enough last time. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. One hand, one shotting. Nice. Hey, Rhea. I see you're still there. Gotta talk to some boy, exactly. So let's get our bonfire back up and running. Hey, buddy. Logan's still here?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you alive yet.
Oh, hello. I appreciate the attention, but
Yeah.
Have you spoken to Master Londo?
Yeah.
He is an...
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, I'm just going a little crazy. It's the hollowing. Firekeeper's absent. Let's talk to you first.
Well, fancy meeting you here.
So you left Anor Londo and came back here.
I am grateful. You know, I was thinking the gate, the old fortress. Was that your doing?
Yep.
Yes, I knew it. It seemed like an unlikely coincidence. Well, am I fortunate? This Knight of Katarina thanks you sincerely.
Whatever you say, buddy.
Take this as a token of my gratitude.
Oh ho 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 ho! Thank you.
There you are. I'll be heading down below shortly. There's nothing worthwhile up above. No worries. Venturing is my life. I'm prepared for the worst.
Nothing worthwhile up above, huh? Or did you just get scared, my man?
There you are.
Yep. Yeah, ha ha ha. Let's handle this. We return the Firekeeper's soul to the body. And she's fine. Now, we're told how...
Thank you. I'm Anastasia of Astora. Now I can continue my duty as a keeper. But I only hope that my impure tongue is not
So as we
harmed.
can sense, even though her tongue's been restored, this bothers her, and the fact that she has, she can now potentially speak the god's name. They put the idea of the god's name in vain, the idea of, again, speaking disrespectfully to the gods. You can imagine the suffering and pain she went through to become a firekeeper, and then, of course, later to cut off her limbs and stuff like that. There's no shocker that she would want her tongue cut out so she could never speak ill of the gods in a moment of weakness.
Forgive me. I am impure. My tongue never intended for restoration. Please, if you had...
I can't believe you killed Lautrec, you monster. Thens, he killed me several times over.
I wish not to speak.
Yep. So again, she would prefer not talking, because again, she's just here to do her job in the hopes that she will, some brave hero will end the undead curse and let her die human. Yeah.
I wish not.
There we go. All that matters, though, to me is that I have my bonfire again. Ah. Beautiful, lovely bonfire. You would never betray me. Okay, now that this is back, we can take risks here. Let's go talk to Domhnall. Go on. I don't even... Why am I two-handed? I don't need to here. Alright. How much will this controller screw me out of jumping over that small gap? I guess we'll find out. Oh. Does she have a tongue now? Yeah, that's hence why she can speak. That's why she's complaining about having her tongue back. Her impure tongue might offend us. Because again, she is undead, even as a clergywoman. Okay. Oh my playing with this stupid controller sideways is not easy. I will say that. Oh, how much does it take for the level up, by the way? Because I have the 10k from the hero soul, so. Okay, so if I get 4 more, if I die like 4 more times, I'll probably be able to get it. Oh, I hope not. Please be merciful, game. Honestly, doing this with a non-functioning controller might be a dumb move on its own, in its own right. So maybe we should just skip it and go straight to Solaire. Okay, I'll do it. I'll try one more time. Whoop. There we go. Okay, let's do a little practice run. See, I can do that. I can do that. Okay, so. Woo! Okay, we can do this. We can do this. It's only 15k souls. Yeah. Hey, Domhnall!
Aye, Shemai.
Aye,
Shemai.
Shemai.
Meet anybody here? I suppose great minds think alike, eh?
So again, as we can see, he's just a bit of an oddball. He likes getting to weird, unconventional places to find unconventional things. Yeah, you don't see anything. Anything that I could get. Now again, Domhnall, there's the idea that Domhnall is kind of like a corpse peruser, as it were. He will loot corpses for their stuff, such as the Iron Golem set. Now, obviously, they shouldn't be taken literally. Again, much like what we talked about with corpses from Phantoms we defeat. The idea, of course, being that he would do these things, not necessarily that he does. Obviously, New Game Plus, he will provide us with Gwyn's stuff before we technically killed Gwyn in that playthrough, just because, again, it's a New Game Plus thing. So, again, there's a bit of artistic license being done of conveying a concept, even if it's not necessarily literal to the world. And, again, this is stuff that happens all the time with game mechanics and lore. So, I already have this. I will buy a wooden bolt. A standard... Wait. Yeah, a wooden arrow for 3 souls.
Well, I'm certain
It worked.
So I am willing to share some.
Yeah, he's a great character. Then I love him.
New Londo are formidable foes.
Did she also get her feet back?
To face them, you will require special.
Oh, 1
arms
second,
or
John.
A cursed body. The quickest way to be cursed? Try the bug-eyed lizards in the sewer. Desperate measures, to be sure.
Again, I talked about how his Japanese dialogue is a bit different here, but it conveys the nuance both in and out of universe of what we, why we wouldn't want to get cursed. So again, you can go back and watch that stream if you haven't already.
Rumor it may be, but I have heard of a surviving ancient dragon who resides in this land. A coterie of undead serves the dragon, as they train to become dragons themselves. Sounds unlikely, but you never know, do you?
So Domhnall has heard rumor of the transcendent apostles who exist, of course, in Ash Lake. Now we can return to Ash Lake once I get the Lord Vessel and stuff. We can warp around because I do not want to go all the way down, all the way to come back up and bleh, all that. So.
I'm afraid.
Yeah. Does anything else to say?
Thank you. That was a fine trade.
It was 1 arrow, mate.
This funny feeling we'll meet again soon, and we'll make another fine trade, of course.
Of course. Now again, the Iron Golem armor that we just went through doesn't really say too much. Just tells us, oh yeah, he's defeated the Iron Golem. It defeated many hero who attempted Sen's fortress. And why is that important? Of course, to tell us how we uniquely, among all those heroes, us nameless undead, were able to actually pursue onward to Anor Londo and will ultimately be victorious. It also, of course, clarifies for us that again, it's just an empty suit of armor. The blood that it bleeds is telling us of how, of course, it all comes from the soul, its core. Hence the hole in its chest to replace an actual heart. Darn. You need new PS5 controller. Yeah, I do. I need that new controller. It is so painful. It is so painful doing this without that controller. Because at any moment, I could be trying to run, and then my character's like, nope, and then it'll just do a dodge roll or some shit, and I die. So having to do stuff at an angle where you can't just do something as simple as straightforward. It's like, ugh. Oh well, let's see if we lose 15k, chat. That combined with what I've lost before, honestly, I can farm that stuff back. It's no problem. But it's like, ugh, this game. This game is not that difficult, and yet this controller is making it difficult. Whoop. There we go. That's an option. That's at least a consistent way for me to get these souls back. Whoop. All right, let's see. Let's. Thank you. No problemo. Now you want to be close to, like, if I remember right, it's like 19k, so then plus the hero soul, that's 29k. I can't wait to go through Painting World. I'm sure that's not going to cause any troubles with this controller. At least we don't have to beat the boss, so... Well. So that'll be an upside. Oh, you're so cute. Again, with the new context of the warrior with the white dragon shield in mind, we have the idea again of the Berg regular army with their metal armor for the heavy guys, and the leather that the light infantry use, versus, say, these militiamen that have been converted by the evangelists of Seath into more white dragon worshippers. And that, like that corpse that's down there, used simple wooden shields, easy things to make, bearing the image of the white dragon. Oh, we want to go this way. And then up. Honestly, this might even also be the time to consider killing the Hellkite. This might be the stream to do that. Oh, first, let me rest here. Thank you. With my weapon being as strong as it is, the question is, can I get the tail without using a bow and arrow? Because I would like to get the tail weapon if possible, but I guess we'll see. Oh. You still down there, Solaire? Yep, you still down there. Let's talk.
We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time.
Yes. We talked about this in the first stream, I think.
Centuries old.
Yeah.
The very fabric. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in conflict. But use these to summon one another as spirits and engage. Of course, we are not. But
Yeah. You said this already.
Oh, hello there.
There we go.
I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
So again, he's a worshipper. When he says he's a worshipper of the Lord of Sunlight, he's not referring to Gwyn. He's the adherent of the god of the sun, referring to the firstborn. The idea, of course, being that this sun god, unlike, say, Gwyn, is of course just the son of the great king of the sun's light. The idea being is that, much like the firstborn, Solaire is looking up to the sun and sort of akinning it to, much like Gwyn, a father, a warm, wondrous, powerful beacon of light with which to emulate. As Solaire mentions, he wishes to become the sun. This reflects how very much the Gwyn's firstborn also wishes to be like his father. We see this type of idea with another character as well, and we'll talk about that when we get to the Duke's Archives, but there's this idea that we see in Dark Souls where certain characters like Solaire serve as proxies for characters who we don't get too much insight into who they are personally. as we see here, if the Firstborn is meant to be reflected in his follower, Solaire here, then we get the idea that the Firstborn is someone who likes cooperating with other warriors, working together, helping out, is generally a jovial good fellow to be around as far as warriors are concerned. Now that that has been established, he says that he will stay there, and then he leaves. How strange. Yes, very strange. Very strange. He'll immediately disappear because we've now advanced him to get to Anor Londo. So, alrighty. Alright, let's see if we can get to that tail. Come on, I'm back here. I'm not going to the little shrine today. You don't have to worry about that, buddy. Come on. There we go. There we go. Ouch. We got the Drake sword at least. Alright, next time we're going to go for the feet. Try to force him to just use his stomp. Okay, so we got Hellkite's weapon. Yeah! The Drake sword, or like I said, Drake in this case referring to a wyvern or flying dragon sword. Again, basic information we're given with all the swords, but then as we're told here, wyverns are seen as essentially, again, the idea of an imperfect or failure of dragons. The idea is they're not up to snuff to the great archdragons, but they are basically just distant descendants. So again, Gaping Dragon, just a descendant of the archdragons, is an archdragon itself. Stone Archdragon, also a descendant, an archdragon itself. The Seath Archdragon, Calamite Archdragon. All of these are the members of the ancient race, though none of them seem to be actual, the original archdragons that existed since before the Age of Fire, or we should say before fire itself came into being. But in comparison, you have these entities who are descendants, but they've become so far off, thanks to disparity from the original species, that they have not even their own front limbs. Those front arms are fused with their wings, so very cool. And we can see this reflected in the actual, in the attack that they use. It's this very little, as we can see, force there. That, hey, it's strong, but it's not that strong. By comparison, do we still have the... We can put that away, we can put that away. Again, I have to give that to Frampt at some point. I gotta get rid of you off my hands. Oh. Bottomless box. Yeah, there we go. And then where's... Can I use the Dragon King weapon yet? Well, what's our girl's tail got for us? Let's see. Now that requires 50. I'm nowhere near close to that, even with two-handing. So yeah, I can't show off the comparison, but basically, Hellkite doesn't have nearly as much power as, say, the Gaping Dragon or Calamite or Seath or any of that in terms of draconic power, even if we ignore their individual affinities. That raw draconic might from stone scales is very weak in these distant descendants. Now, let's see if we can kill Hellkite anyway. I hate that trick. You done? Anytime. Any moment now. Any moment now. There we go. Oh. Oh. Oh, I can't believe that didn't count as extra damage, but whatever. Woo! Ah, this controller. You are a pain in my butt. Oh my gosh, you are a living memory of suffering. Oh my... Ah! Oh my... Yeah, I just want to die at that point too. That was so frustrating. The controller really was just like, okay, we're not going to let you run anymore or jump or do anything that you want to do. Like, ugh. Just feels gross. I don't think we're getting those souls, by the way, chat. I think those are some lost souls. I don't see any situation where I get those back. But I did pretty well on damage, so I just need to not do the fire blast. But unfortunately, this AI just is designed to spam. That's a frustrating element. Yeah, I'm not getting those souls. If we don't kill him this time, those souls are lost. Don't jump away, you little piece of shit. Just do, like, random, like, stompy stomps or bites or crap. What? There we go. Okay. You done? I guess we're gonna make him go away. Oh. Right. Okay. Yeah, okay, Hellkite. You do you. God, I hate this enemy is so... poison? Maybe poison. I hate that Drake. Where do the lost souls go? Okay, so obviously, lore-wise, you're not actually collecting your blood and your souls or whatever. This is a remnant from Demon Souls in terms of game mechanics. Conceptually, what happens to your souls, and Dark Souls 2, of course, makes this explicit. Your souls get devoured by your curse, the dark sign. Because that hungry, hungry dark wants to devour you. So that's what happens to your souls. They get eaten. That's what makes you hollow. Now, there's the idea that you can try to reclaim them. That when you come back, and on the off chance that somehow, even if you're starting to hollow, like we are, and you're not completely lost it yet, you might be able to reclaim some of those souls or what have you before then. And that's the idea, right? If you die again, then you're a lost cause. Now, of course, the game doesn't have a permanent hard end state for you. They just doesn't do that. So we're always, as the player with plot armor, always going to be sane no matter what happens to us in terms of life and death and all that. But the general idea, of course, is that most people aren't that lucky, right? When you kill an NPC, it doesn't matter that they're undead, they're going to assume that's basically the end. That if they wake up, it'll be as a hollow, not as anything sane. Hellkite? 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 You gonna come back? God, you are such a frustrating dragon. I just want you to know. Like, seriously, I wish I had enough damage to just kill you instantly, because you are not worth the trouble, dog. I called the dragon a dog. He feels like it. He feels like a very... Actually, he's more like a cat. He's just a very uncooperative cat. Let's try this. Let's see if reloading the area will do it. By the way, if you're interested, but do what my character says within his name and buy my book, Abyssal Archive. Check the link in the description. As I said earlier in the stream, the most complete, consistent, and coherent account of Dark Souls lore on the market. You done there? Thank you. We have both physical and digital editions available. If you take the link, you'll be able to go to the website, which will take you to the store page, which will have both versions for purchase. Now, you can only pre-order the physical edition, unfortunately. It's still going to the printers. We won't be able to get it out to you till next year. But hey, if you're more interested in a cheaper or online or sort of like a digital option, we do have that available for you to buy now. I guess I gotta wait longer. So, yeah. Believe me, if you don't want to go hollow, get that information on all of Dark Souls 1 lore right now. You don't have to wait for me to kill this stupid boss. There we go. Oh my. Thanks. Thanks. Dude, your book seems awesome. Really inspiring. I'm saving to grab myself a copy. Well, you know what? I really appreciate that, Arberg. It's really great. I'm really proud of what we've accomplished with the publisher. Something that both has a lot of great, inspiring narrative of the lore explained to you in a detailed analysis, and hopefully in a very easy-to-consume way for the average reader, considering how much content there is. Hello? Hellkite. 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 There we go. And then you have it added with the publisher creating this really fine quality layout, plus illustrations by an artist who really, really captures scenes that you could only imagine before. Oh. I honestly think that it's something special. It's something special that every fan of this game deserves to own on their shelf, or I guess on their computer if they prefer the digital. Ay ay ay! They could cut this in half and it would be perfectly fine. There's no reason to make him take that long to come down. The damage on him is so inconsistent, too. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, sure. Again, this boss is just a trial in RNG. Will he do moves that will put him in a position that he can just spam that fire blast? Because I sure as hell am not going to be able to run behind him in time. Dragon always reminds me of the Phantasy Star. Don't you know if you ever played it? Weeb game, but if you killed the dragon boss, you had to run away because he could fall and kill you during the cutscene. That sounds like such an easy thing to catch in QA. That's hilarious. No, I have not played Phantasy Star. I remember, I can't remember if it's the most recent one or the one before that, but I remember it being a very niche title by a developer that, at least one of the games apparently was not very good, so. Come on, we done? Yes. What? There we go. Oh. What? Oh, okay. Sure, game. What was that? Ah, this enemy was so not actually given proper design attention. It's so obvious. They were just like, wouldn't it be cool if we had this dragon? Okay, what happens if someone wants to actually kill it? Oh. As in, like, more than just an environmental hazard? Huh. We didn't think that far. Like, that is so doom. Yeah, just shoot fire through walls. That makes sense. Buddy? There we go. What is the goal here? Why don't you just cut off his tail? Oh, we got the tail off already, Arberg. You must have missed that. That was like the first attempt. Easy. That was the easy part. Getting the tail cut was like 2 hits with this blade and it's done. The problem is I'm now going for the kill. Oh. Okay. Sure. As we can see, this is just dumb. This is just so dumb. I cut off your tail! This is cheating! I call hacks! Dang it. And again, the damage on his fire is so random. It's like, okay, sometimes it'll do no damage, sometimes it will literally kill you. Just gotta kind of roll the dice. This might be a thing we come back to again, much, much later. I think that's probably for the best, because clearly, if I don't have like a max level weapon so I can kill this guy in just like a few hits, we're gonna be here forever. And I want to get to Painting World already. I want to go see Priscilla. There we go. You done? Oh. Come on, come down. Let me grab my souls. Now watch, now that I said that, this is going to be the run where I kill him. Come on. Maybe he grew his tail back really fast. He's like a lizard. Ow. Should dodge that. Oh my god. Just do more head things. Yeah. Do more like head stuff. I would prefer that. Oh my god. Oh my. I am so annoyed by you. Wait, what? Oh, again, RNG decides this fight. RNG and raw damage, so yeah, we're just gonna skip this, chat. Do more head stuff. Loki 2022. That quote better be in the book. Ay, chat. There will be no head stuff, it seems. I clearly cannot hit his head enough to do any bleed damage. Assuming that'll even help, honestly. Where are my souls? Wait, where are the souls? Oh, back there. Oh, I think we're gonna say bye to the souls. That's 22k souls, I think, down the drain, chat. If we die here and lose them, we're moving on back to the Painting World. I'll farm those souls some other time. Go on, come on, you dumb, stupid lizard! Get down here. Let me smack your little noggin. There we go. Or your footsies. I'll take your footsies. Ow. Ow. Oh my god, controller. What? Well, okay, there goes the souls. I'm so glad you gave me time to actually run up to you after you did your attack that covers the whole arena. Oh god, I hate this enemy. Alright, chat, we are going to say that is it. No more. This enemy has killed me far too many times for me to want to continue. We will be returning to Anor Londo. Let's see, what's the best way to get there from here? I don't want to go through Dragon Boy again, so we're going to be going the long way. Quote-unquote long way. We don't care about all the mooks. Ooh. Oh. Yes, thank you. Oh. Woo. There we go. I swear, clearly, if the undead curse wants you to go hollow, it should literally just break every player's controller. Everyone would give up real quick, I think. Clearly, Miyazaki didn't think this through on how to make people feel the hollowing curse. Really experience that thrilling existential horror. Oh my, really? Oh. They're happy. What? Oh. Listen. Are you done? Thank you. I swear, I probably would be like 3 episodes ahead right now if not for this controller. I'm gonna say that right now. Oh. Too many deaths caused by this stupid thing. And then the rest of the deaths caused by my own stupidity. Oh, whoopsie. Okay. Oh boy. I always liked the skeletons in Dark Souls. Early D&D editions do the same thing of making them a genuine threat, especially adding the holy weapon stuff. Yeah, I agree. I don't like how, as the games have progressed, they've streamlined stuff, so it becomes less and less important, like weapon types and damage types and things like that. It definitely felt like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Again, Demon Souls more so, I would say. But it definitely feels like there was a loss on letting you feel like your actual weapon choice mattered more than just the moveset and the raw damage number. Bye, sucker! Alright, time for the fun part! Getting all the way back up to Anor Londo and then to the Painting Guardians. Actually, we could just take the main route. We don't have to go through the rafters anymore. Oh my... Actually, no, we can... Pretty sure we can go this way, right? And then... By the way, Crestfallen Merchant, I got all the way to Anor Londo. You said it wasn't possible. Screw you. I am beyond despair, you weakling. Oh. Yeah, we go back up. Woo! Back in the land of the gods, baby! No! Onward! Ho ho ho! Nothing can go wrong now! Except... they always can. Oh, I love that 6-hit. That was clean. Oh, I love having extra stamina. Especially with a improved weapon to really get that damage across. Okay. We don't need to improve our Estus right now. Because we're going in the painting world, and we might need that humanity for there. I don't think so. I think we should be fine. But you never know. So is Sen's Fortress used for training rites or an obstacle for the chosen undead? I talked about this, I think it was last stream, Arberg. Yeah, it was for training knights for the dragon hunts. It doubled as a border patrol outpost, right? Letting humans immigrate in and out of Anor Londo while making sure you could stop them, check goods, check what people coming in, all that. But its fundamental primary purpose originally was to train the Silver Knights, so that way they would be prepared for the dragon hunts. Again, watch that stream if you want to hear the full scoop, right? I don't want to like rehash old stuff too much, since obviously for those of you that have been keeping up with the streams or been watching the VODs, I don't want to bore you with just repeating myself 10 billion times. But yeah, that's the basic idea. It was only later, in the last 100 years or so, that it was repurposed as a trial for the undead. I guess you could argue it might have been used for something earlier than that with regards to Ulasil or something, but for the most part. Oh. Yeah, this is better. There we go. It's better to two-hand. You know, technically, we don't even have to care about all of you. Now, again, the Painting Guardians defend something, though. No one remembers what is the... Oh, God. There's an item! I don't want to miss it! Game. There we go. I don't want to miss an item. What if it's a new item? It's probably just more throwing knives. Yeah, throwing knives. Technically, I already have all the stuff, because I think you can only get the equipment outside of... Oh, well. Oh! You guys saw that, right? That was not actually real. That was just the game cheating. We need our trainer fights to fight dragons. Quick, put loads of boulders and swinging axes. Well, they're scythes, but yes. Oh yeah, my bad. I missed last time because of work. No problem, Arbor. But like I said, it's not your bad. It's fine. It's just a matter of again, feel free to like watch the VOD, play it on ×2 speed. As I've said before, I'm someone who loves putting all my media on ×2 speed when it's not like a TV show or something. So if it's not a film or whatever, like podcast or again something like this for streaming, I think it's much more useful to just, you know, put things on double and be able to get through a few hours in only half that. Ooh. Oof. Yeah, that was an oof, all right. But whatever the case, we shall endeavor to make into the painting world. I think it should be simple. All I need to do is run past these guys before they start throwing their daggers, and just click X on the painting. So we have the key. Yes, don't throw anything. Oh no. He realized. He heard me. Alright, so what is it that they're defending? Why are they so protective, even though that, it's long been forgotten by the wider world what exactly these humans were guarding. And now that they're undead and are no longer having generations passing it down, who knows if they're even still sane enough to tell us themselves. Either way, we find the painting, we're like, oh, that's curious. Whoa, whoa, no, well now. Whoa! This is, not my intention! Whoa! We're now in the painting, like a portal. It shows us exactly, we see the area like this almost, and so we spawn in from here. As we can see, the bridge going back is no longer operable, but thankfully the bridge here is still good enough. We endeavor to go into this isolated mountain now. And go to the temple that is ahead, though it's more like a fortified castle in a way. As we can see, undead are not welcome. These hollows have been... Oh, I can remove this now. These hollows have been stripped bare of their lives, impaled on these pikes. It tells us that there has been some violence afoot in this place. But from who and why? Nope. Now we find the bonfire. And now we shall continue forward now that we have our checkpoint. We go inside. We now have to find our way out of the painting world. Again, we find hollows here, much like the ones we saw impaled earlier, but these, for some reason, have been left alive. We find, again, people strung up, again, giving us the idea that there has been some conflict here, similar to the Undead Burg. Why has there been conflict in this place? What is going on in this painting, which has its own dimension inside of it? Now, again, the power of light is time, so the power of sunlight, and, of course, time is inexorably connected to space. Time-space continuum and all that. So therefore, the idea that you can use the power of sunlight to paint a picture which creates its own dimension, yeah, that's imaginable. Just infuse that power of sunlight in the paint, and therefore that power of fire will allow, that fire power, literally, will allow you to create your own little dimensional world. Whoopsie! I was too busy coughing to pay attention there. Anyway, as we can see, they're not just regular hollows, they're also these engorged hollows who cast pyromancy, shooting out flames like that from their hands or from their mouths. Whoop. But their heads are a bit weird from the other pyromancers we've seen. They have these bloated faces with clear poison inside of it, very toxic, deadly poison that's built up and truly caused this inflammation. So, what's going on there? Oh, their blood. All that toxic blood. I need to remember to get away from them when I do that. I'm wasting this. Oh well, just better not die. Again, we go down this tower. Hey, we find rats, but these, of course, are more adapted to the snow here. So whether or not they are a creation of the painting or happen to find their way in. Oh. There we go. We see how they are perfectly suited here now. Soul of a brave warrior. Yay, I need more souls. Now again, I talked about how this place is basically a temple. Again, we can actually see some indications of this as we go in. Like this area would be a giant mess hall, similar to what we saw at the Burg, at the parish. That over there is the extra annex building. We will... as we can see, whether it's due to powers of darn. Well, I'm already toxic. Oh. Alright, Loki, stop this. Open the shortcut so you don't have to go through these guys again, please. For all that is holy. Don't make your life miserable. But it's so hard, Loki! It's really, really easy to, you know, screw up, you know? Yes, I understand, Loki. Just please. Please, for the love of all that is holy. Don't. Resist the urge to be stupid. I know it's hard. Just do it. For the rest of your sanity. I'm okay, chat. Don't worry. Nothing's wrong with me whatsoever going through this with this controller. Not at all. I am perfectly reasonable. There we go. The Crowmen. So again, these are called Crow Demons in official English stuff, but they are in fact just the Crowmen of Velka. Of course, the association with the Goddess of Sin makes sense. As again, we established with Oswald, she is a black-haired goddess. She's associated with lots of darker, less than divine powers, seen with her sacrificial rites and the like. We don't really see a lot of human sacrifice with the gods' magic, but she with her black hair and preference for intelligence over faith, is someone who's quite suited for these black arts. Again, making the crow her perfect familiar. We get the idea, of course, that these are people who were transformed into crows through their devotion to Velka, hence the association in the name. The idea being is that their limbs and everything contorted in order to meet this form. We can, of course, see that there's been violence again by how their claws, their talons, are covered in blood. Oh, covered in blood. It's also easier to see in the raw model, but we can also see that they have some blood like on their chest and stuff around where their beak would be pecking. So we get the idea that, again, all this conflict is happening, and these worshippers of Velka, these very fanatical worshippers, have emerged the victor. Alright, let's first open the doors here. As we can see, there is this statue. We have seen this statue at New Londo, but we will talk about it more now here. But first, let's open that shortcut so that way we don't have to worry about things. Because this area has a lot going on, besides just the Phalanx reference. More than just a Demon Souls reference. Alright, we've opened the front door. Now again, we can see a very peculiar sight. This hollow has been strangely contorted. Spears stabbed into bits that are developing heart roots. Well, I should say roots similar to the hearts we see on many regular hollows. We clearly see basically some type of experiment into the undead curse that's turned them into these monsters. And yet we find that they all gather around the image of a woman. Now again, besides being an obvious reference to Demon Souls, this woman at the center has a hood, reminding us again like a shadowy female figure like a witch. And she has a small young child whom she is comforting beneath her wing, as it were, in the proverbial sense. So we get the idea that these creations, likely created by Velka, the one who, again, is responsible for the sacrificial rites for her rings of sacrifice and all that, is probably also responsible for these hollows being in this state, and yet they are fiercely loyal in protecting her image. Oh. Ow! I got ganged up on by a bunch of spearmen! Oh no! We also see surrounding them are these giant prison blocks in a literal sense. These stone blocks with cell pieces, giving us the sense that... Oh. There we go. Giving us a sense that... Oh. There we go. Giving us a sense of a prison. The idea that people would be locked up here. And therefore, the perfect to use as specimens for, say, some magical research. So you have this place associated with the goddess of sin, and we have it also associated again with the criminality, sinners. Very curious indeed. Whoop. There are my souls, better grab those first before I get myself killed like an idiot. We can again see this idea of it being a temple from how we have all these pews lined up here. So if the area over there was like a mess hall where everyone could gather as staff or the like, this would be sort of a pulpit with which someone could preach the good word. In this case, you would presume it would be the good word of Velka. Especially if, say, this statue here of this woman is a depiction of the very witch in question. Dang it. Oh. Whoop. Just in case, we're getting away from the wall there. Whoop. Oh. Okay. There we go. And you. There we go. Is that all of them? Can I go back to playing the video game? Yes, thank you. No, no more having to play hit and run. Again, this is very likely a depiction of the goddess of sin who is so strongly associated with this area. We now see how she's associated with crows, all the crows in here, plus the crow men. Associated with sin works with this idea of criminality in a prison block. So overall, we get the idea that this painting world, this place called Ariamis, which, as I said in a previous stream, is created by a painter named Ariamis. Again, content confirms that. Japanese dialogue is slightly vague on the idea of what an Ariamis world might be, but it still has the indication that, yes, there is, in fact, a person, a painter named that, who, in fact, created this world for the purposes of being a prison, it seems. A fortified area. This makes sense, as if you are a prison, you would be able to lock them up, and there's only one way out, and it's through the entrance to the painting in the gallery. And you have the guardians to make sure nobody gets in or out. Soul of a proud knight. Oh. There we go. There we go. That was a rope. Did not need a chain sound effect. Just saying, game. Just throwing that out there. Oh my. I am so done with this game equipping stuff I don't equip. Just stop. This is the way downstairs. We don't want to do that quite yet. We want to go... Actually, maybe we want to go that way, because this way's the other... Oh, yeah. Again, we see more of these hollows on pikes. So we get the idea there was some conflict in this prison. Maybe a prison break. But this would be strange, because it's clearly that those who have come to love the goddess, who locks them up in here and oversees their prison, is in fact, are the survivors. So does that mean that those that were killed were those who weren't loyal to the goddess? Maybe those who were intending to break out? We can, of course, also get certain ears that we just received from killing Lautrec as part of our vengeance. These ears are, of course, related to killing sinners, and that you kill the sinner and take the ear to sort of act as a sign to other onlookers that they've received punishment on behalf of the gods. Now, obviously, we collect these items for the purposes of increasing our standing in Gwyndolин's covenant. But as for the crowmen of Velka, they too would gather it, and yet they worship Velka, not Gwyndolin. So we can only imagine they're doing this simply because they are loyal to the gods, and specifically their goddess. and that they are killing sinners here in this painting. Okay. So now we have the idea, okay, maybe a prison break. We'll become humans soon, so we can come back here and get the invasion here. But we have the idea that there's a prison break. There's lots of knights that are dying here. As we can see here, we're collecting lots of knight souls. Huh. I wonder who was leading this prison break. Curious, most curious. We will return here again when we can fight Jeremiah. When it comes to Dark Souls 2 onward, is the Goddess of Sin crossed over with things like the First Sin? I'm curious if they translate as different things in Japanese. The First Sin is completely unrelated to Velka as Goddess of Sin. Well, yeah, it's not directly related to her being the Goddess of Sin or anything like that, but yes, the terms are the same. The term sin, or tsumi, yeah, is being used. It means sin, crime. I've talked about this previously. You can translate it either way. Since lighting their own flame, Isaac, etc., is described as a sin. Again, nothing directly related, but it is the same term, yes. Or is it just anything that goes against the gods, which the demons eventually do? Again, the idea with sin is, again, the idea of, okay, what is inherently a sin? There's a philosophical discussion there. And then there's the idea of sin as, say, someone who has made that philosophical discussion and decided what it is. In the case of the gods, they decide what is sin because, again, they've established themselves as the gods. Again, a ring of sacrifice because this place is closely associated with Velka. Wait a second. We also get rings of sacrifice as we established in Sen's Fortress next to Guinevere's divine blessings. And we talked about how, well, that kind of gives us a certain tension in the air of both of them sort of contributing their own thing, almost like they're competing against each other. Well, that's odd. We also, of course, have Guinevere looking down at this painting with two silver knights flanking her, almost giving this impression that's like, hey, don't you dare come out of this painting, is almost as if the statue is trying to convey. But this is, again, an area associated with Velka. So why is Guinevere all in a tizzy over Velka's domain? Why would she have any interest in this place that she would even award the painting guardians a divine blessing for their service keeping people out? Or rather, keeping those things, those prisoners in. Again, this area is locked. So who is Velka's true lover? We'll talk about that, man. We're getting there. Okay, that makes sense. That's whatever the gods deem as sinful. Yes, exactly. It's not like, again, there isn't this inherent thing where it's like, oh, fate or the first flame or something decides what is sin, right? It's just, hey, you don't do what the gods want, therefore it is a sin. Velka is the one, again, as it shows, Velka is the one who defines the sin and the punishment, right? She's the one who decides if she forwards your name to the Blades of the Dark Moon to receive the god's punishment, right? Which is basically just having servants go out and, as we established, kill people and take their ears as a distinctive way to show off how, hey, this person who committed, you might know have committed sins, has been punished by the gods for his transgressions. There's nothing inherent to any of the gods' duties, right? The medials are people. They're a race, like the giants or the pygmies/humans. The thing that sets them apart is that they have the power to establish themselves as quote-unquote gods. But that is a status based on the worshipper. Anything can theoretically be a god, not just the medials. They aren't intrinsically gods themselves. It is a status that they can lose, see the firstborn, or be married into, see Seath, as we will talk about in the future. We shall go this way. Now again, we see ourselves another dragon zombie. This is curious because as we can see, this dragon zombie seems to have died crashing into the bridge here. The bridge has been broken, so we can't use this top part to go there. His second half has been will be separated from his first half, as we see when we do this. Oh, there goes the wing. His body is rotted, but he is quite fervently protecting. There's a blood shield. Quite fervently protecting this area back there. So, old proud knight. Yeah. As we can see, he's very, very desperate to make sure that we don't proceed to that tower. Go on. As we can see, unlike the fire breath of most dragons, this creature only has a poisonous breath of all the rotted flesh and bile and all that it's developed inside of itself. Even though it is immortal thanks to its stone scales and has been revived, it lives in a world of disparity where its body has rotted after death, quote-unquote death. But those scales have allowed it to persist on with its soul, reclaiming control, even of this rotted cadaver. And even if it's falling apart and dying tragically, we are able to experience this. Woo. Experience the moment of a dying dragon, who yet still lives. Oh! That was not my, my intention. Oh! I'm an idiot! I was so close, and then I got myself killed like a moron! That wasn't the controller, by the way. That was just me purely not looking where I was going. Alright. I'm gonna ignore these guys, because I got 30k souls on the line. I don't have time to deal with all of you. Oh. That's inconvenient. Crowman? Crowman? Again, the term Crowman will be later localized in Dark Souls 3 as Corvian, but it's the same term. These are, in fact, the same Crowmen you see in that game. In that game's painting world, especially. Alright, let's do this all over again. Again, this also gives us the idea of why is an Archdragon in here defending it. This, along with the dragons we see in New Londo, and of course the dragon zombie there as well, gives us the idea that an archdragon was killed here and there because these dragons are acting on behalf of the gods. The gods, of course, would care not to want to see New Londo be freed, so they would send dragons in order to protect the gates. These dragons, of course, shoot lightning instead of fire. These wyverns, I should say, specifically. Who knows, maybe the archdragons too. But the idea is that these wyverns were essentially specifically created that way. It isn't a natural evolution for them. Naturally, again, creatures of stone with sunlight. Even disparity wouldn't be that cruel. So again, we get the idea that these wyverns were bred to serve the gods. We, of course, have cut content to also reinforce this. Because in cut content, the wyverns would actually appear in the skies of Anor Londo, flying around, shooting lightning down at you. Think Dark Souls 2's Dragonary. In fact, it's likely the inspiration for Dark Souls 2's Dragonary. But again, we have this more or less confirmation, therefore, that these wyverns are acting on behalf of Anor Londo. In which case, the Archdragon, Dragon Zombie in the Valley of Drakes, and this one encountered here is likely another servant of Anor Londo. This dragon tasked with defending this tower, or rather, whoever may be inhabiting this tower. And as we can see, even in death, it is still trying to fulfill that duty to the gods. Now, Dark Souls 3, of course, expands on this with Medea, giving us clear indication about, there we go. Giving us quite clear indication about, that dragons would be collected, and used. So it's not just, their body parts that are being used for stuff like the Iron Golem. Live dragons were also in Anor Londo, used as pets or slaves, or however you want to coin it. The idea being is that they are useful tools for the gods, both alive or dead. There we go. Yeah. Dragon scale! Again, reinforcing the idea it was an archdragon based on its physiology. Alright. We should get prepared to do some level up soon. Get more endurance. Actually, yeah, what's my status? Yeah, more endurance. So I can have more wiggle room. Go up here. Over here. Oh. There we go. The crow with his talons is no more. Buddy? You okay there? Nope. Okay, fine then. Now again, at the top of this tower, what do we find? A red sign soapstone. Well, that's interesting, because these soapstones are unique to the Dark Wraiths. The idea that certain Dark Wraiths who, even if they fell to the dark, as it were, and their allegiances changed, they still tried to be honorable knights by essentially not just sort of like cruelly invading others without any choice of the matter to plunder humanity for themselves. The idea here is with this red sign soapstone is, hey, do you want to initiate a duel with me? Right? It's sort of like an offer of a one-on-one combat with another party. So again, we see how this has been very importantly given here to tell us, hey, Dark Wraiths were locked up here. So again, Artorias hunted Dark Wraiths, as we will see when we get more into new Londo stuff and his questline in the DLC. But while Artorias was hunting Dark Wraiths, not all of them were just killed. Some of them seem to have been captured and brought into this prison world. You have to wonder, was all the Dark Wraiths imprisoned here so honorable? Or would some of them, say, stage a prison break and try to escape, only to be all killed as knights, again, with all the souls of the knights we find, by those who had converted to the way of Velka, and decided they want to protect this world and make sure that all those awful sinners who haven't repented do in fact suffer punishment for trying to escape. Go this way. Oh, darn. I almost had it. What's the right path here? I think here, right? Darn, missed it. Oh well. I can do this. Is that why all the dragon butts are in Islith? We will talk about the dragon butts separately. They are... Again, we do find a dragon butt here. It's left over from the dragon zombie we kill. And if we perform certain moves or whatever, we can glitch this dragon butt so that way it will, in fact, stand up and allow us to go through. Though that's very obviously unintentional on the developer's part. They were not expecting us to glitch this, as it were. But we get the idea that, yes, this is the back half of that dragon zombie. That it's essentially rotted to the point that it's split in two. The dragon butts in Islith reuse that model, though again, we will talk about the specifics as to why that enemy is there when we get to there. Right here. Wait. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? I thought this was how I got in. No! Is it somewhere else that I'm being too stupid for? Speaking of prisoners, we can also talk about the Blood Shield. The idea that this is spoken of in lost legends. Why are these legends lost? Why have they been forgotten by the wider world of man? Almost as if they've been purposefully rooted out and suppressed so that they wouldn't be, the stories wouldn't be told, so others wouldn't think of having the same idea of, as we can see, the idea that there is this blood red, possibly actual blood based on the name, has magic powers that boost various resistances. Using the power of blood for that? Alright, maybe down here. Come on. Come on, nope. I don't know how to get up there. Soul of a Brave Warrior. Huh. Oh my. There we go. No, we want to go down here. Rats? Rats. Again, we see from the tables and stuff the idea of a coming together to meet or eat. Kind of a little rest house, this building, for staff. And as we see stored here are the Painting Guardian set, telling us that this was a rest area for the Painting Guardians. Now, what do we learn from this set, besides the fact that it has this strange white color to it? Why is it all white? Offers a lot of protection against magic. Again, makes sense considering Velka is here and she's associated with intelligence and thus non-holy magic or sorcery as a witch. The idea is that they have guarded it all, but the reason has been forgotten by the wider world while these generations have continued, and obviously now they're undead, so no more generations happening. Now it's just, hey, we're immortal, we've been doing this for 1,000 years, and we're not telling you. So, as we can see, it seems to be the reason they protect the painting is because it hides this prison world. But again, there's still a question of, why is this prison world so important? We will, of course, receive an answer. There we go. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh! Darn it! I'm stupid. We will receive an answer when we complete this area. Oh. Oh my. No, I don't want to use your online stuff. Oh, we go up here. We want to go there too in order to get that item. But first, actually, I don't know if we can get that item from here. Oh my god, controller, please. Please, I need you to cooperate with me. This isn't that hard. Egg vermifuge. Then you might be like, well, this is weird. Why are we getting an acorn here? Again, there is a very important statement here that is somewhat lost in translation. The idea when it says naturally these chestnuts are forbidden but are allowed under special circumstances, there's a much more general statement being made where it says, but everywhere in the world there is reason to forgive a taboo. The idea being is that you know, even in this place, the painting world, there's a reason to forgive sins, forgive transgressions, forgive crimes. In this case, this forgiveness comes in the form of, so I gotta, oh, I can do this from back here, okay. Oh my. Alright, you done? You done? There we go. So you have this very important point being made by that chestnut telling us, okay, there's the idea that those imprisoned in here have a chance at forgiveness and redemption. And as we can see, that by the crowmen we encounter after this point. Really? There we go. They didn't playtest that very well, huh? There we go. Darn. Alright, where are the rats? Oh. At least you didn't kill me. At least I didn't die to rats. Oh. Though you never know. We're not out of the woods yet. Oh, where did you come from? Huh. Anything else? Nope. Okay, so we just got to get the stuff for the annex. And I don't think I have that key yet, right? I don't think I picked it up. I think we have to go downstairs for it. And again, remember, the idea this is a prison world, and we collected the key to enter here, the peculiar doll, from another prison, the Undead Asylum. Now this, of course, the question is, what was the asylum being used for before it became a prison for the undead for this mission in the past 100 years? Well, we can imagine that it might have been a facility used for imprisoning people from, say, Anor Londo, considering how we find a doll somehow connected to this painting here. If that's the question, then there's the idea of a little girl, hence the owner of the doll, that was brought here and guided from that prison, Anor Londo facility. Again, the beast statues may be indicating the idea of how they considered her less than human. Again, she was an abomination, a detested entity, a being who had no love from anyone in the world. Come on, there we go. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Oh. Really? Really? There we go. There we go. Alright, we cleared all that. We can deal with this tower now. That's a jump. That's a jump and a half. No, wait, we can go... Oh no, do I have to make the jump from up here? Oh, that's not happening with this controller. Yeah, no. That's a risky play. Oh boy. Unless there's a way to do that from the outside that I'm forgetting, I don't think so though. All right. Yeah, no. Oh, darn. Just not happening. Oh, and you just stop. This controller! You were being so cooperative for a little bit there. Oh. Alright, let's see if I can jam this thing to go. Nope, it doesn't. It stops. It just stops. Nope. Okay, yeah, I don't think this is working that way. I may be misremembering how we get up here. Let's go down here. Yeah, I think that's a drop down, actually. We're supposed to go around this way. There we go. Am I right? I'm right. Go. So the idea that these loyal followers of Velka are the survivors. They have gotten rid of all the other prisoners, it would seem. Flying over here. Hello? Hello? Crowman? Crowman? There's a lot of crowmen. Silver Proud Knight. Yep, yep, yes. There we go. Oh. You know what? It's worth popping this because we're going to use the humanity right after, so... Gotta remove this. Alright. So we get the idea again, the crowman. And again, the dried finger. Now, the dried finger makes a point of how it's a dried finger with multiple knuckles. It makes an idea that, you know, it's shriveled but still slightly warm with this many knuckles. Not the number of knuckles, but just the kind of fingers that these are. They can't belong to anything human. Now, as we can see, the crowmen have these very long, spindly finger talons, very similar to what these knuckles are. So we get the idea that, oh, okay, these, with all these joints to them, that these belong to the crowmen. And the idea that they are no longer human. They have transformed themselves into something else, part crow, as it were. out of their devotion to Velka. We knock this down, and we just get a humanity. Oh. There we go. Alright, let's level up. Go to human form and kindle this bonfire while we're at it. This should do it. Perfect. The dried finger makes a point. Awesome pun, Loki. I did not intend it. It was not intentional, I swear. Endurance more. Keep buffing our stamina. Okay, we need a little bit more for another level up. That's okay. We have more than enough souls to sacrifice for that. Now again, I'll talk more about this when we get to like the Duke's Archives and with the Lord Vessel and all that. But this bonfire definitely probably does not exist, considering how it functions in relation to warping. As the entire point of this sequence is we are trapped inside the painting and need to find a way out. So having a bonfire which could let us have an easy way out, though necessary as a checkpoint for us to be trapped in here and be able to restore our Estus flasks and stuff like that. From a narrative perspective, if we were to strip all the gameplay from it, it's more likely that we just got plopped in here and then we go through, and then of course we're not actually going to die because again, we are the main character. We just press on until we find a way out. Now that we're in human form, we can deal with a certain invader. Again, also note how this prison area, we see the main inside is also part graveyard. The idea that you would live and die in this prison and then be buried, maybe become a skeleton, as we will see down below. Not be happy with the fact that you died a prisoner, and so revive even absent necromancy due to your grudge. Oh. Maybe even decide you're gonna pin yourself to a misshapen wooden wheel with spikes on it and make everyone's life miserable. You never know. Just throwing that out there. There we go. We are now invaded by Jeremiah. Now again, the fact that Jeremiah has a red eye orb to invade with reinforces the idea that dark wraiths were in fact in this prison world, as he would presumably have gotten that red eye orb from one of them. Now Jeremiah is curious in that he uses chaos pyromancy, again, arts of Izalith, implying that this Xanthos king, Xanthos meaning yellow essentially, that Japanese is just yellow, in reference to, of course, the King of Yellow of H.P. Lovecraft infamy. This is, again, also a reference to, of course, Demon Souls and its King in Yellow, the old monk, as the localization calls him. So, yeah, the idea that Jeremiah here is likely the King of Izalith, the husband to the witch, and therefore the father to her daughters of chaos. Hence using many of these arts, including a whip. Now, if you may recall, we got a whip from Blighttown. We found it in the sewage, I don't know if you call it pipe, but the drainage pipe, where the sewer drain, from which a certain wall-hugging parasite clung onto the walls. It had a head that was very similar in shape to Jeremiah's. Now, this isn't to say that the creature is, in fact, any way related to Izalith or the demons or anything like that, or Jeremiah even, but the idea that Miyazaki and From Software, of course, are into their meta humor, and so finding a corpse with a whip near a creature which has a similar shaped head, well, a body whose head is very similar to Jeremiah's head here, would not be surprised. As for Jeremiah's head, it should be noted how it is this bizarrely long, tall, with that huge bulbous end. There's a question then, is he even human? Again, if he is the King of Izalith, then it would make sense for him to be a demon, at which point he probably, much like Quelaag, would have, or the Fair Lady, might become a demon by having, say, a demon bug piece, a parasite as it were, latch on. Now, you don't even have a shield, buddy. What are you defending for? Now, as we can see from the way that the headpiece is supposed to work, even though if you remove this, you'd be able to see Jeremiah as just an old man, the idea is very likely that he is, in fact, actually a demon. And we, of course, see this better in concept art, where even his shoulders and stuff have little spiky things. And the point of the head wrap, the reason why it's so bizarre, is that it's hiding something quite ugly and disgusting underneath for his demon head. This, of course, would also explain him invading. He wants to take humanity so he can use it to feed his chaos flame. Similar to how we see humanity being used for to feed other sorts of flames. Because, hey, if you don't want to use regular souls, you can always use humanity. And humanity makes equally great fuel because it's a soul, and nobody likes dark souls in the Lordran. It's Robert W. Chambers. King in Yellow is not Lovecraft, by the way. Oh, I get what you're trying to say. No, but, like, it's obviously been connected to Lovecraft for other things in the Lovecraft mythos, is what I mean. I don't necessarily mean HP himself. Alright, we're gonna go get that item, which I missed last time. So again, you're a prisoner, you live and die in this prison, you get buried in this prison. If you're undead, obviously you're probably lasting extra long like a dark wraith, or you try to stage a prison break. As we can see, though, this prison break that happened apparently relatively recently has been put down. It seems, though, that if there are any painting guardians that were inside here, they are no more, but all the survivors are the prisoners. Very curious, indeed. We don't want to go down here with this many souls, so let's just go this way. Ah, darn no. This is just the same exact route. Again, this is the formal way you could get into underground. Again, we're beneath where the graveyard is, so it shouldn't be surprised we find some bodies which have risen and also here. But again, I do not care for them, because I don't want to lose my souls. Stupid bone wheel skeletons. Gonna go this way. No, I can't jump down there, unfortunately. Alright, fine. I'll risk the phalanx. Oh. Alrighty. Woo! I really like that book. Alrighty. Anything else I need? Because this is... Yeah, this should be enough for 2 level ups, right? Woo! Didn't even need to spare the extra soul. Okay. Now we shall... I think the key I want is down here, so we'll do that. There's 2 humanity. Ha ha ha. Ooh. As we can see, this well will also take us to the similar underground beneath where the graveyard would be, and therefore where the bodies might fall out to revive. Now, of course... Oh. That happens. Opened up a illusory wall for us. Not this way, of course. Has to be that way. There we go. Well, we survived the graveyard spooks. Now again, we see how this bloated friend is has hands in the face as if crying, sobbing, weeping at this woeful fate. Clearly, the idea of this bloated head of these pyromancers was not all necessarily intentional. In which case, there's a question of why did their heads bloat this way? Well, as we saw with Jeremiah, if he has a demon parasite that has caused his head to be the way it is. turning himself into a demon as the King of Izalith. As we learn when we, did we actually collect anything from him when we killed him? I don't think, oh yeah, we did. We got the Notch Witch, but that's, you know, that's just it. We get the idea that maybe they, these pyromancers meeting an Izalithian, the King of Izalith even, would be like, oh, hey, let's go back to, let's try to be more like him. And well, as we can see, this is the result with this, terribly deadly poison, perhaps disease-filled, you might even argue, pussy, extract. You have got to be kidding me. I dodge roll as fast as I could there. I'm running out of all this purple moss. As we can see, a pyromancy fire surge. This is useful because this tells us that not only are these pyromancers imprisoned, but the reason why they are imprisoned. Because they, as we can see here, they're not from the Great Swamp. They are, in fact, this pyromancy is, in fact, unseen there. The idea being is that there are a lot of pyromancies that have been developed over on the fringes outside of the world of man as we know it. The idea of the fringes of the world, the setting that we know. And that the idea being is that those who end up coming into this the sphere where the Way of White dominates end up getting captured. And apparently brought here to be imprisoned, back to Anor Londo. Oh, that is most curious by itself. But as we can see, Fire Surge is a pyromancy used by Shiva's shinobi guard, Shadow, could say. So we do have the idea that, that yes, pyromancy is being developed independently by people outside. Whether, sort of inheriting some of that knowledge from Salaman on the fringes, or otherwise, there's the key. We have this, we have a sense that everything has sort of been going, everything has sort of been, going fine, even ignoring, the Great Swamp. That people outside there are able to study just fine. Until they come into the sphere of influence where the Way of White holds dominion. Then they're apparently captured. Now, I say the Way of White because as we will see, there's plenty of signs of the church being responsible for facilitating prisoners here at this facility. Oh, here at this little painting complex. Are we done? Is that all of them? I think it is. Thank you. I think that covers everything here, right? I don't think I picked up the item yet, right? No, we only have the silver coins. I could have swore we had a gold coin from a mimic, but I probably forgot to pick it up and then lost it when I died. I bet you that's what happened. Because I'm pretty sure the idea was you could get silver coins and gold coins from, Or was it copper coin? No, it was definitely gold coins, pretty sure. Copper coins we get from Petrus and Thorland because the gods obviously leave and probably go to places like Thorland, where Lloyd already is. Alright, let's just crank the thing. So this is directly below the statue up above. So again, we will see what happens to the statue when we turn this little lever. Activates the mechanism which causes the statue to turn around. So we have a statue of Velka with this small child. Long hair, perhaps a girl, maybe like, say, the girl who owned the peculiar doll and was also guided to this painting. In that case, the idea of Velka's statue turning around to face this doorway, which opens up and leads all the way to that tower we couldn't access before, thanks to the dragon zombie, gives us the sense that, oh, okay, so the idea of locking this girl, who Velka is acting rather motherly toward, inside. Will that be the girl who owned the peculiar doll in there? I guess we will have to see. But now that we have the annex key, again, as I said earlier, clarifies that this area is this painting modeled Ariamis basically modeled his painting on a temple. So the idea is this, again, they called it a cathedral here. The idea that okay, so we create this little temple, perfect for a goddess like Velka to rule, but it'll be a prison church essentially. And this area that we're going to particularly is a kind of storehouse used. Now, let us see for ourselves what it is like. again, pulpit. So the idea that a priest could come here and do mass with the prisoners who have repented their ways and are willing to sit in and listen to the way of Velka. Come up here. There are 2 paths we can take. We shall first go this way. Again, we can see how these prisoners are essentially taking over guard duty. In that case, what happened to the actual guards? Were they killed by the rebels who broke out? In which case, who were they? Well, we will see very shortly. First... There we go. First, we find our last blacksmith corpse. Again... Oh. Oh. There we go. Woo! There's the ear that they collect. Again, they are birds now. They have bird heads, no ears themselves, so it isn't that they are sinners per se. It's that they're very likely collected from sinners. And as we can see here, there's a blacksmith with his tools. He seems to have died. Well, what was this blacksmith doing here? Well, we can see the ember he worked with is the dark ember. And an ember which, as we are told, again, we can see from the black flame, it's been one that has been long hidden by the church. It's a taboo. Oh, you're not supposed to use embers that have the dark element to it. Okay, that makes sense. Again, dark is bad, dark sign is evil, you're a cursed monster, blah, blah, blah. Okay, opposite of light and all that. But then the church has hidden it, and to the point that it's basically been forgotten. No one uses this now. No one remembers it. No living blacksmith, at least. As we can see, the one living blacksmith who did is, well, dead. But there's the idea then that in this realm, where Velka holds dominion, there was a blacksmith who worked with the dark element in here. So even though it was forgotten by all the blacksmiths outside, there was at least one who was still practically using it here. So dark weapons were being made. Oh, so this associates Velka quite firmly with not just magic and sorcery, but the dark, which again makes sense. Black hair, black crows. She's got quite the dark motif going on with her. Black, black, black. Broken doorway. Ruins. We come through here. Velka's rapier. Oh. Now, this is, of course, is a weapon that is used by Oswald, a priest of Velka, as we establish, and of course the series here makes a point that how there is a rapier, a thrusting sword that has symbolic implications to it, used by the pardoners. Again, the term for pardoner here means a prison chaplain. So again, the guy who's sort of like, hey, you want to confess your sins before you're executed or whatever, right? That type of prison chaplain. These are who the priests of Velka are. So, they were originally, before they're out in the world of man, like with all the other servants of the gods and stuff were out there, they were being used as the guards for this facility. Because as we see, this symbolic sword is no mere symbol. The pardoners, again, excel as swordsmen. And they would use this magic blade, which again, presumably of the dark element, as we see down there, uses an occult power. So again, these are the type of dark weapons this blacksmith would be forging. And again, with an intelligence scaling, because again, unlike, say, the heathen elements we have, which have to deal with the powers of faith and stuff of their twisted memory of the dark, Velka is a goddess who studies things intellectually. And so her and her servants, of course, are using the dark element for those ends. They understand the power of dark and how to wield it. They don't need to rely on just a faith, a memory, an emotional, spiritual connection in order to wield that power. Again, another miracle for her. Perfect. God, these guys are dying so easily with bleed. I love it. So these were the guards that were all killed, apparently, by a prison break likely initiated with Dark Wraiths, with Jeremiah, the Pyromancers, the Crowmen of Velka, being the ones who were fighting on the opposite side, and they won out. Though, as we can see from the Archdragon, who turned into a zombie, the rebels were the breakouties were quite powerful, and they left their mark. Again, all the guards are dead, the dragon's now a zombie, and the the rest of those conspirators are now all impaled on pikes. So lots of damage all around. Magic. Again, related to Velka. This idea that's a secret rite of that the black-haired witch knows. Allows you to basically void all magic in the area. Velka is referred to here as a rogue deity. The term rogue means heretical. Now, I've talked about this before. It's not heretical in the same sense of the heathens of the occult element. It's the idea that heretical as in you have a different ends. It can have the idea you're a nonconformist or the like. But again, it can have that religious heresy as well. But the idea is that Velka is obviously not the typical god of Anor Londo. She is someone who very much loves to study and embrace even the thing that the other gods won't touch. That is the dark of humanity. And so she will... again, she's someone who is known, she knows arts both old and new. So she is someone who's familiar with all types of things, and she might know arts that most others have forgotten. This miracle is a reflection of that profound knowledge. And as its point here, she has a great deal of influence among the gods. Well, that's very curious on its own. I'm pretty sure this will kill me if I drop down, so there's no point in doing that. What we want here is, again, another partner. Again, a priest of Velka. The idea being is that her mystical... Now, this term for mystical means mysterious. It's the same term for mystical used with the dragon weapons. The idea being is that this term is translated as arcane in other games. The idea, because the term mystical or mysterious here refers to the secrets of God, knowledge gods only know. So obviously the idea is that the power of Velka, a god, is what imbues these robes with their power. And as we can see, that's more of sorcery and darkness. Again, these priests of Velka are partners or prison chaplains. All sorts of magic, because Velka knows all sorts of magic, including the dark. And she seems to have a particular love for the dark, considering how prominent it is among all the powers that she likes to have her servants use. And she herself probably does. Alright, we go down here, this way. Oh! That was stupid of me. Is the little boy with Velka Gwyndolin? It's not necessarily a boy. Like I said, with the long hair and stuff, you could even argue it's actually a girl and maybe the owner of the peculiar doll. But no, not Gwyndolin. Not Gwyndolin at all. Again, the idea of the statue turning to face the doorways which open the way inside gives the impression of the child being comforted by motherly Velka as she leads them, guides them, you might say, into the painting, into that tower. So we should expect that child who Velka is comforting would be the one at the end. Well, who is that child? Oh. We shall see. There we go. There we go. Are you going to spawn still? I hope not. Oh, you're already down here. Wonderful. What else do I want? Gosh. I didn't know that, one-handing would be such a different... Okay, you did that yourself. Don't look at me. I am not to blame for this. There we go. I think we got all the items. I don't think we need to jump down for anything. Yep. Anything up here? Nope. We got that there. I think we covered everything, chat. Which means we can get out of here, I think. Oh. Dang it. It's 3 hits, I gotta remember. That toxic blood. Taxic. Taxic. Okay. Prison world, Velka connection. I think we covered it all. Which means there's just a matter of getting inside. Now again, we can do weird things here to make this this boy glitch out and give us another way in. Though again, it's very likely unintentional by the developers, given how jank it all is. What's with all that? Yeah, it's very clear we're not supposed to kill this thing. It's just supposed to block our way. But if we do this, it'll break the animation. And we could just, you know, go in, just drop down. Again, we will go the non-jank way. We will go the proper intentional path. But Kid could be Gwyndolin because of Moon. No, I meant to stop distracting me. The deep lore of jump attack glitch. Hey, Loonfisk, are you new? I don't recall seeing your username in here, but welcome on in. I'm glad to have you watching with us. Loonfisk? I don't know. Don't ask me names. I'm too stupid. Yeah, we can... Now let's not die when I got like 20k souls on the line, please. Thank you. Oh, we don't want to go this way though either. Yeah, here we are. There is no dragon zombie. Stop making noise. This feels so jank. I'm a bit of a lurker. Lurking is great. You don't have to put yourself out there. Just gotta watch what other people do and act like a fly on the wall, like you're not even there. It's the safest option. But thank you for deigning to come out and make a hilarious joke. I appreciate it. Being the risk taker. Oh, now let's go all the way here. Bleed. Or just die, okay. God, 25k, huh? We're almost there at the level up, so we're not going to be doing the boss fight right away. Because I want to come back here later once we do the Duke's Archives. There we go. You're dead. Where's our buddy? Where's our friend? Ouch. I got swarmed! Ah, there he is. I've been replaying Daughter of Ash. It's weird seeing the non-DOA version of the game now. It's weird seeing basic Dark Souls, huh? Yeah, I can imagine. That might happen. Oh no! Whatever will I do? Again, as long as I'm not stupid. Which again, might be difficult being me. But I think we can do this. Will you cut tail? I will try to cut her tail, though. That might be difficult. Oh my god. Oh no. And you got aggroed, I heard that. Woo. Come on. As we can see here, a Berenike Knight is also inside the painting world. So we have the idea that it's not just Tarkus. Other Berenike Knights had made their way inside. This one, of course, looks to be a hollow, but we can assume that, again, just copy-pasting the model, whether or not he is hollow, there is the clear idea that, much like the other hollows here, they are trying to defend this tower, clearly, trying to prevent people from coming inside. He has become a loyal, faithful follower. You might say that... Oh, well, I lost an item there. You might say that the painting has become the place to belong for those who have no place to belong. Such as this poor undead knight, who, unlike Tarkus, failed to truly die. Instead, ended up accidentally coming into the painting. This also gives the idea that the peculiar doll is not needed, for us to get into the painting. It seems to be more just a plot device needed to sort of set up the idea of the painting world. As we see, of course, in Dark Souls 3, we need no doll in order to get ourselves dragged in. It's just easy as getting your hand too close to the canvas. So again, the idea seems to be that we, with this doll, are meant to be setting up the idea of we are looking for the owner of this doll. And well, we are now at the end of our journey, and let's see who that might be. Who is this girl that Velka brought in? Oh. Huh. Well, wouldn't expect this, huh? It's a woman with draconic features. You might even call her a half-dragon. A crossbreed, as it were. Now, this, of course, is the half-dragon Priscilla, or crossbreed Priscilla, as she's known in the Japanese. The idea being that she is a white half-dragon, as clearly seen from her hair and scales. We can see how her outfit is very unique. Her outfit comes with her tail included. Her scaly tail, presumably white like the rest of her, has this nice little fur coat, perfect for staying warm in this wintry wonderland. So you have the idea of a white dragon who's been given the love and attention to have her own clothing as she's grown up here. Again, the idea being that Priscilla would be a small girl when she owned the doll, was locked up in what would later become the Undead Institute, and then eventually she was dragged from this faraway facility, kept away from everyone, into somewhere much closer to home and yet infinitely more far away in its own dimension, its own painting world. Now, the idea of a half-dragon, well, you know, let's talk to her first, and then we'll discuss that.
Who art thou? One of us thou art not. If thou hast misstepped into this world, plunge down from the plank and hurry home. If thou seekest I, thine desires shall be requited not.
So the idea being is that, hey, she doesn't attack us right away like everyone else, even though she's obviously the boss of this area, see the fog. She stays peaceful, but she has her weapon at the ready with a scythe. Rather peculiar weapon of course, associated with death. But the idea being is that she is ready to defend herself in almost defensive posture. She is the little girl depicted in that statue with Velka. She is the one who was brought in and guided into this world as a little girl, and has grown up in here, and yet still been given much love and attention, much like how we see the depiction of Velka giving her a motherly pat on the head almost as she brings her into this prison world. If we seek her, she will not permit that. She will, in fact, kill us if necessary, but she'd rather not. She's like, hey, if this was all an accident, this was all a mistake, you didn't actually intend to come in here, coming for me. Oh, well, I made a mistake. We can of course accept that. And well, it's like, okay, we'll be coming right back inside, Priscilla. 1 second. But she wants us to jump forward. She calls it a plank, though. Again, the idea is just the way out, essentially. This little added bit. We can jump down, and we will return. Kill the fluffiness. I love this fight on a broken sword run. I failed to break her poise all fight, and she never uncloaked. Oh boy, that sounds special. Hey, Ellie! OMG, her tail cut is awful. Yeah. We are out here. We got a homeward bone. Let's go back in. I can even get my level up here. Kill the fluffiness. We'll kill her later. Oh my. Alright. Come here. Hollows, get over here. There we go, you. There we go. Do we want to keep going into endurance? Oh, stamina stops here, so we're gonna stop, yeah. That's probably for the best. Let's keep going for strength then, because strength has been, like, the most important thing for us. And we're gonna go against 4 kings and Ornstein and Smo and stuff like that, and that requires lots more damage. Alright, we shall return to Priscilla. So the question, of course, is, what is a white half-dragon being hated so much for? Kill them. You guys are tempting me to actually go through with the murdering the poor innocent cinnamon roll. Listen, she adds to my sin counter in PvPe if I do so. She's a peaceful inhabitant. She is not automatically hostile. Velka will not forgive it. She will require me to pay a soul indulgence if I want to not get myself killed. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Oh. Darn. Getting cornered by these guys. I just need to ignore the archer and just go for the guys that climb up. Archer, like, I don't care about archer damage. Archer damage is like nothing to me. But there is the question of why is Priscilla in this world? Why was she locked up? Why does she seem perfectly happy to be locked up? She doesn't want to deal with the outside world. In fact, she implies, by the way she's acting and the way that she's defending herself so on instinct almost, that, hey, she's used to people trying to kill her, and that people would come into this painting world, they would infiltrate this far for the very sake of killing her. Well, that's curious. Why would they want to kill her? Again, if this is an Anor Londo facility, and she was someone locked up, why would any of the gods want to have her locked up? When she's not, and not just, you know, kill her outright beforehand? Why even have her as a prisoner if she's so, apparently, dangerous? There we go. Also, of course, they have no hitbox until you, they finish that animation. Dang it. There we go. Alright, now we can deal with you, big boy. Lead. Oh. There we go. That hurt. I didn't know killing Priscilla had sin. Yeah. Because she's not a hostile enemy by nature, so when you attack her, it's the same as if you attack another peaceful NPC. Alright, let's do some repairs. Because my weapon's about to break, apparently. Alright, that should be enough, right? It's not broken. Yeah, it's just durability's low. Let's fix that problem. And then we can get out of here. She's locked up because he doesn't want to pay child support. Ooh, you're right. Ow. Ow. Anxiously eyes my sin counter and my playthroughs. It's like, oh my. I'm in danger. You better be careful. You might hear an invasion from a Dark Moon Knight very shortly. You killed the cinnamon roll one too many times. No, but as John Kick alludes to, we have an obvious candidate for who fathered a half-dragon. Now, the idea that this half-dragon is so closely associated with Anor Londo gives the idea of that, okay, well, medial's probably the other half. So, okay, half-dragon, also medial, so we need a dragon and a medial to sire her. Okay, I guess that's possible. Well, she also has white scales. Well, we don't know of any white scale dragon, but we do know of a white dragon who would very much like to have white scales. So, oh. No, we're not dying again. So then, is Seath the father? In that case, who is the mother? Okay, we need gods who are women. Okay, well, the only god who's a woman associated in this painting world is Velka. Oh. That would explain why the statue depicts little kid Priscilla and Velka in such a close, almost mother-daughter relationship. Because, well, she is the mom. That would also explain, of course, why the gods haven't outright killed Priscilla, and she apparently needs to be assassinated, you know, off the record, as it were. Because Velka, as established in this very area, has a lot of influence among the gods, so she can get away with having her, her child not killed, even if it's hated, and instead just locked up. You know, just, you know, lesser offense. Again, there's then this idea that, Seath and Velka sired a kid, a half-dragon, who was apparently so bad, so dangerous, and so deadly, that she needed to be locked away from everyone else. And ultimately, even then, some feared her enough to want to try to have her dead. So much so that she has been scared, apparently, her whole life of being killed by an infiltrator like us. But again, it's all an accident on our part. We didn't intend for her to die. This is all a misunderstanding. Again, we killed Jeremiah as a invading clone, so we get a body with his equipment here. This is obviously, again, as we established with our fight with Lautrec, the idea is that invading spirits shouldn't be able to die, and there's obviously no reason for Priscilla to kill Jeremiah here, especially if he's helping out against the Dark Race and others who might want to break out or cause her harm otherwise. Well, let's see. What am I going to get out of waiting until we get to the Duke's Archives? Nothing really. I talked about all the important lore here with just the connections, and we'll talk more about those connections and how they relate to Seath's character when we go to the archives. So yeah, okay, we'll kill Priscilla here. Sorry, guys! For all those who love her so much, it's time for me to commit a terrible sin. Sorry, Velka.
I expected as much from thee. Why dost thou hurry toward thine death?
So, when she says thee, she means why do you all? So again, there's the idea that we are not the first. There have been many who've tried to, there we go. There have been many who have, oh, darn it. Who have tried to, take her life, and much like all of them, she has been forced to kill them. Though she would rather not. She's a good girl. We can see how her, weapon causes bleed, but we will see how this isn't expressing a... Oh, gosh. Mastery of the cold? Dang it. Come off, tail! I swear, the floof. Oh. At least she's not going invisible again. There we go. Nice. Alright, Priscilla, now I can bleed you. There we go. And dead. Why? What is... She's asking why is the reason that we are trying to kill her. What purpose she has, right? She's here, living her own life by herself. Again, twin humanities, because she's a woman. She's living here all by her lonesome, doing her own thing. And we decide we're gonna come in and kill her. Why? Why? What was she doing? What harm is she to the outside? Why would you do this? Why are you such a bad person, player? Buy my book, you are evil. Clearly, just know, guys, when you are buying my book, you are, in fact, getting blood money. Priscilla died for this book to be sold to you. Know this. Okay, that's enough there. But again, we have received her weapon, and we get our answer with it. Why was Priscilla so dangerous? Because this tail derived from her, this weapon derived from her tail. Again, the dragon crossbreed, she's called the half-dragon in Japanese, of the painting world, possesses the power of Life Hunt. Now, we see how it dances when wielded. This is reminiscent of the Painting Guardian. So again, the Painting Guardians wear all white, and they fight the way they do with their unique weapons, because they are trying to imitate Priscilla. In fact, so again, all that to show how there's a connection here. The Painting Guardians are essentially worshippers of Priscilla, or... at the very least, they revere her to a very large effect, which makes sense if she's the daughter of Velka, the goddess whom they are defending others from. So again, this is the idea that they are trying to protect, they're trying to keep prisoners out, but also keep other people who might try to assassinate them out. Why does Guinevere then care if this is Priscilla, if this is Velka's daughter? Why does she care then that Priscilla is being kept inside by the Painting Guardians, and that they are making sure that she stays in? And very curious indeed. And again, we'll talk more about that when we get into the Cease area. But for the dagger itself, we have the idea that it's an occult weapon. Inherent, again, it has the bleed, but it also deals occult damage, telling us that Priscilla is inherently dark. Her element is dark, which makes sense, right? She's Velka's daughter. So if you get Cease Moonlight Affinity, mix it with Velka's dark, and well, you might get something that's just a moon in pure darkness then. No light there, or very little at least. So you get the idea then that Priscilla is born of, like, once again, Seath and Velka. She has those, because of that light element being negated, she's able to have scales, right? Because again, that power of sunlight, of light, of disparity, is what causes Seath to be evolved with that very specific affinity, which makes him scaleless. But you take that away, and again, we see with Priscilla, she can manifest scales no problem. So again, parentage to credit to her mother for the parentage. Then there's very interesting idea. So a creature of dark with this power of life hunt, which we see expressed with bleeding, which again, the idea of blood being a medium for the soul. So therefore, the bleeding status effect can be associated as a power of darkness. We see this, of course, re-expressed in, say, Dark Souls 3 with the hollow gems being able to create, like, bleed, dark, and hollow, quote-unquote, weapons itself. So all of that is all related and connected. But the general idea being, oh, okay, so the power of bleeding from her scythe, as we see, is an extension of her own body and her ability to be able to essentially slay us with the power of this life hunt ability, this ability to, which can even slay gods. In fact, as we see here with her soul, the idea here is that she is, again, first off, she's an illegitimate child, a bastard in the literal sense. So this crossbreed bastard child, an antithesis to all life. Again, her life hunt ability, her ability which is rooted in the dark that is inherent to her, to be able to leech life. Again, the dark is associated with, again, powers like life drain or soul sucking, vitality or spirit sucking, the ability to take the life drain out of you. We can see this idea that, okay, so she's despised for her ability, which can, again, kill even the gods, because, again, as we see with the, where's the ember? The Dark Ember, it's used, the occult weapons were used to hunt the gods. Now, again, the term used here is the clan of gods, because again, the Medials are a clan, they're a tribe who call themselves gods. So again, when stuff is referenced the clan, like with the mimics, despite being gods, certain clansmen were branded with the bottomless boxes and turned into these mimics. They were exiled in the sense that they were expelled from their status of godhood and just turned into lowly security chests. We have the idea here that the clan of gods are weak to the dark element because the clan of at least the Anor Londo gods, again, this doesn't affect the Izalith or Nito, etc., they are creatures of sunlight, the light of disparity, versus the dark of disparity, which clearly wants to devour the light. And we will talk more about that when we get to Koth and things like that. But again, the idea that those who their servants, their followers, their worshippers, again, their priests, and those who are related to the gods in the clan are all affected by this. So, And then finally, let's remove this. And finally, there's, of course, the Life Hunt Scythe itself, which will affect us as much as it affects the enemy, because the idea is, because we are not Priscilla, because we do not have her inherent dark affinity, she will, in fact, that her weapon, which is imbued with that power that we use, will hurt us instead. Or rather, it will hurt us as well as the enemy that is striking, similar to the Chaos Blade. So again, we have this idea how all life is affected, unless you have, of course, the power to drain that life yourself. So, Priscilla is Seath and Velka's illegitimate child, sired out of wedlock. Well, why is that? It's, that's strange. If she's an illegitimate child born out of wedlock to Seath and presumably Velka, well, why didn't they just get married and have their kid normally? I mean, it's a free country of gods. You can get married to who you want as long as you're all part of the same, godhood status. Huh. It's almost as if somebody was already taken, and therefore this little affair was an unintentional bastard child being born. who Velka clearly loved so much that she would use her influence to try to keep alive and in a safe place where she could manage and run the prison that would lock her up so she could live a comfortable life protected from this outside world who wanted to kill her. So much so that they definitely couldn't trust a prison far away from Anor Londo keeping her safe. Somewhere so far and yet close to home. I wonder. I wonder indeed. Oh well, moving on. I'm sure that'll never be elaborated on in any way in this game whatsoever. And definitely not in later games where it'll be made incredibly obvious who could possibly be married to who. No, she was pregnant with Gertrude. No Gertrude, no Dark Souls 3 talk here. Anyway. Again, we have the Dark Souls 3 lore play for those that want to get all of the Dark Souls 1 spoilers, I suppose. Come on. Let's get out of here. Well, chat, I think we're at the point where we want to call it. We've done a lot here. We've gotten pretty far. We're prepared. In fact, I'm just going to get back to the bonfire by the Silver Knights, so that way I can increase that bonfire here with all the humanity I got. Plus more I can spend. We'll max out that bonfire. Ooh, maybe, actually, you know what? Let's first go here and max out this bonfire. And then we'll go back inside. Now again, the giant blacksmith knows very certain arts that are very important, of course. He knows how to improve weapons and turn them, use the souls of bosses and turn them into more powerful versions, usually related to that boss. Where did he learn this peculiar art to be able to use the manipulate the power of souls, derive their key qualities, and use those qualities to enhance or transform existing weapons? We'll have to see what his dialogue has to tell us as we progress further. He might have a certain request from a certain person he may be familiar with. Thanks for the streaming, Loki. No problem, Arberg. We're not going to end just yet. There's still plenty of opportunity for me to get myself killed. But for now, we shall, this is where we basically are on the, winding things down. Next time for sure will be Ornstein and Smo. Along with them, there will also be, we'll also be dealing with, what comes after. I don't know which area we're going to start with first. I think it might be Izalith. I might just decide I want to do Izalith first, because I love Izalith so much. But, it might be New Londo, because the whole Frampton Koth situation. We have to be very careful of how we get, Koth. Strength. Yeah, keep improving our weapons. I might be able to use the Dragon King, Great Axe soon. Yeah, I get it. I'm survived. Let's, get rid of the rest of my souls while I'm here. Where's that? Is there anything we want from Priscilla? No. 12k. Is that enough? I don't think so. I think it needs to be like 30 something, right? Yeah, 33. Okay. We need a warrior soul. Darn. Okay, fine. We'll do several of these. We'll do several of these and get a bunch of level ups off of it. Because that's 10k. That's 15k. That's what, like 9k? And then the other one? Yeah, I think that's enough. Okay, so we want 34, 5, 10. Okay. Let's get with the largest one out of the way. Move it there. One more. Let's do a regular Proud Knight then. There we go. Ah, just short. Darn. Alright, a few extra. That's okay. Alright, now let's reverse hollowing. And then kindle this bonfire one last time. Because I don't know which bonfire I would prefer. I think I want to go to the Anor Londo one, because that's where good old Solaire should be right now. So let's try that. There we go. Now let's see if we can kindle our other bonfire. Let's see, any last lore bits I would like to talk about? Oh, there we go, thank you. Let's see. We got the Thorlin, no, the Thorlin priest thing we have to wait till we get to Guinevere. We hinted all the stuff we can with, Guinevere that I didn't want to save for the Seath, stream. Which might be like 1 or 2 streams for now, depending on when we do New Londo. I guess we could do New Londo now and kill Ingward. There's no reason we need to keep... Actually, no, we want to keep Ingward alive because he still has good dialogue for us for Artorias and stuff once we have the thing. Cause yeah, okay. We'll wait till next stream because next stream will be Darkroot Garden with Sif and New Londo. Yeah. Yeah. Because we'll do Ornstein and Smo. We'll get that. We might do, like, early Duke's Archives to get the DLC stuff. Because maybe we'll do DLC first. God, I don't know how I want to structure this. This is, there's a lot for us to cover still. I don't know what's the best way to do it. Alright, I still have that item to get to. Let's do that. Oh. Ow. Come on, come individually. We'll kill you, so that way we don't have to worry about that when we come in. Come on. Come on. The other one done? Come on. Oh, you are so annoying. Oh my. I just need to get one shot on this guy and he's dead. He's already got the bleed. Oh. 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 Thank God I have 20 of these. Oh, there we go. Took 2 shots, huh? Alright, can we get behind you now that there's only one of you? Thank you. Oh, of course. I hate how these guys' hitboxes just disappear when they do jump and stuff. It's like, okay, I get it. You're trying to dodge, but I'm literally hitting through you. Alright, and let's get rid of you. Again, giant guards out front, inside royal guards. Much like how the Silver Knights are royal guards. Their whole... Oh my god, you hit... Controller! Okay, that was just me making bad timing. Okay. There we go. Alright. There we go. Honestly, I might have enough for another level up if I'm not, Oh my... Oh, there's an item. Pardon me. Your buddy here dropped, a nice little thing. Titanite chunk! I need large shards, though. Oh. Honestly, might be using all these souls to upgrade my armor next. Oh, stop going toward the pillars, you. Ah, darn! I didn't move fast enough. You are so frustrating. Why do you run to each pillar and you don't even break the pillars when you hit them? That's the worst part. Be Ornsteiner small! Oh, there we go. There we go. Ouch. Perfect. See, chat, there's always an opportunity for me to die with my stupidity. There we go. Alright, my friend. There we go. And again, we're back in Anor Londo, and nothing will give us humanity, because they get rid of that humanity stuff. They don't like having Dark Souls on them. They try to get rid of them as soon as possible. The only ones who have humanity are those two bozos over there, because they're on active guard duty, dealing with tons of heroes like ourselves that are managing to find their way in. So, yeah. Let's go up here. Let's get this here that I didn't get last time. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna be winding things down from here, chat. Again, Dragon Slayer Great Bow and Dragon Slayer arrows. The importance of this is, of course, the Great Bow is made extremely large for better force in order to deal with the dragons that they hunted. But of course, as we see here, the idea is that these were, again, this term is used as the Dragon Slayers, but it doesn't refer to the same Dragon Slayers as Ornstein. It is the term of a Dragon Slayer unit led by Hawkeye Goth, or Go, as it's pronounced in Japanese, but English goes with Goth. One of Gwyn's 4 knights. So the idea is that Goth was an archer, a sniper, much like as alluded to with Ferris, the bow hero. So much like how Ferris was a sort of sniper with a special bow in order to hit at longer ranges and things like that as a hunter, we see Goth was the very same way. And he, in fact, despite, as we learned, being a giant, as of the DLC, we have the idea here that Goth was, of course, led this dragon-slaying unit of Silver Knights who would, of course, shoot from range. Which, again, makes sense, right? If he's he distinguishes himself as a knight in that regard, then surely he would be able to lead Silver Knights to the same ends. There we go. I'm not dying to you. I will if I'm stupid, though. Hey, Giant, you want to help your friend here? He's kind of suffering from your little cohorts. Your buddies. Now, if we get back here, we can, of course... Yeah, hello. Yeah. Anything you gotta say? Yeah, we're a friend. Reinforce, we don't want to... Actually, this thing goes with Dex, right? Huh. And it... with dragon scales. Ooh, this could become a better weapon than this in the future. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on how much... because it has better bleed. And it has the added occult affinity, right? Ooh, this might be good, especially for the boss fight ahead. So, yeah, we're gonna dump stuff into upgrading armor and weapons here. I like this. Who knows? Maybe next stream we're gonna go all the way down to Ash Lake just so I can get more dragon scales. Nice. And reinforce armor. Let's do this. Do I want to use a slab on just this piece of armor? Probably not. Can I buy a large shard? I can, but I don't have enough. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Alright, I still have you equipped. Let's do that. Purchase. Okay, reinforce armor. Yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect. So we got some armor up so we can deal more damage. Yep. Oh, excuse me, buddy. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Opening this chest here behind you, and we find, oh, the Hawk Ring. So you have this idea that Goff, even before the DLC establishes this, Goff had a close relationship with the giant blacksmith here. Now, the idea, of course, being that this means that Goff left only after the giant blacksmith was around, because he clearly left his ring with him. So the idea that Goff seems to have retired, stopped deciding to be a Knight of Gwyn, left, and in his place there is now he leaves his once famous ring with his good friend, this little blacksmith, who, again, as a knight, he probably would be able to see, if only to come for repairs or things like that, the giant blacksmith deity's little apprentice. So this gives us, again, the idea that when Goff retires, the blacksmith is around, he's able to befriend him, but he doesn't stay long enough to help this blacksmith develop his language skills sufficiently. Of course, we have a slab. Again, forges the god's legendary weapons, the original from which the Titanite demons arise and all that. And then, go to the rings. Again, much like Artorias, Goff has a similar thing. This one, of course, has a hawk on it for his name of Hawkeye. The idea being that this, this time it's called the Great Archers, but again, it's a dragon-slaying unit of great archers or great bowmen. The idea, of course, being here that they would take down the archdragons who would be flying high in the sky with their giant iron spear-like arrows on their giant bows. Oh, looks like the sex bot came again. Report. I actually hide user in this channel. Don't need you. Go away. And let us now get back. Can we make it all the way back to Solaire and talk to him before we end things? Go this way. Come on. You can do this, controller. Don't die on me. It's not breaking. That's a nice start. We want to go this way. Oh, yeah, this way. This is the route. Okay. There we go. Oh, too early. Whoopsie. There we go. Alright, you're dead. And you have a small aggro range, thankfully. There we go. What just happened? What do you mean, what just happened? You mean the sex bot that came in here? Yeah, we get attacked by that every now and then. Just ignore the bot. Still no Solaire, huh? Do I have to go all the way back to, like, the shrine now or something? Ugh. Why are you so frustrating? Whatever. Let's pop some humanities. Alright, I'm not hollow, so I can just do this. Alright, we go up. We go up. Yes. And then finally, we go up. Woo! Alright, chat. That is done. We are now all set to deal with Ornstein and Smo in the future. No matter where we decide to rest, no matter how we want to approach this fight, we can do it. We can defeat those two bozos over there guarding the princess. I'm looking forward to it. Did you ever get him to say grossly incandescent? I did get him to say that, John Kick. We did get him to say that earlier in the stream. I am looking forward to hopefully being able to find Solaire. At some point, he will magically appear, I'm sure. I bet you he's at the sunlight altar or some crap, and I have to go find him there. And then, we defeated Lautrec, the great villain who took my Firekeeper from me and left me maidenless for a little bit. And now we have a new mission, a goal, to complete our mission for the undead curse, to solve this problem, to become the new Great Lord, replacing Gwyn. But that shall be next time. So, until then, ciao!